Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is New Year's Day 2026. And the top story, of course, is one of death, which is pretty much always the case on New Year's Day. If you follow the headlines, of course, most people aren't because they're recovering from partying the night before. But I've explained why for over a decade, why death is such a common theme on Christmas and New Year's. And of course, in my background for years, you've had that license plate up there that says, "What is 47?" And, at the beginning of this year, I had the debate with Andrew Wilson, who proved to be the dunce that all of us with a brain know that he is. And he tried to argue that 47, there's nothing ritualistic or occult about it, which is completely false, just like everything else he brought up in the debate. Again, 47 is a signature number by the cabal that goes way beyond Donald Trump being number 47. And don't forget who told you 4 years before he was reinstalled that they would probably put him back in as number 47. Again, you learn gematria. Trump equals 47. Don't forget when they sacrificed Prince, which we called months before it happened, Mr. Purple Rain, 47 days before his birthday, which was part of Trump's rigged selection in 2016, the year that Bill and Hillary conceded in purple. But yeah, just anyway, the stuff that I teach, if people would just pay attention and listen, they would start to see what's really going on in the world. That 47 number is venerated by the Masons, and the Masons have a lot to do with government and media and culture and the things that most people's minds are occupied with, including the world of entertainment. Again, these secret societies that have been around for centuries have been the secret societies that the movers and the shakers of the world are members of. And the unknowing masses, people like my sister, who I love to pick on because she thinks Freemasonry is just a conspiracy theory, even though their lodges are in every town in America. Again, secret societies are the reason secrets are kept intact. And don't forget JFK. He once gave that speech about the problem with secrecy. And he gave it to the newspaper publishers of America, that address about the problem with secrecy, only to die in Dealey Plaza, named after a Scottish Rite Freemason, George Dealey, who was in the newspaper business. And let's not forget that in gematria, news equals 47, like authority, like government, like Republican, like Democrat, like White House, like president, like Caesar, like all roads lead to Rome, like the Roman architecture all over Washington, D.C., like how the name Trump equals 47, who is number 47 right now, who's been doing nothing but 47 rituals since he was reinstalled, as we told you would happen 4 years before it happened. But yeah, that's not really what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is, just our great day to close out 2025. You might have seen the debate we had on GematriaEffectNews. All right, I changed my name, didn't I? It's now Number Games with Zachary K. Hubbard. We tried to see if rebranding would help get us out of the algorithm slump. It hasn't helped one bit. Of course, having 25 channels deleted by this horrible, evil platform hasn't helped either. But yeah, I just want to talk about this quote because in yesterday's quote, an Einstein quote was brought up. So I thought, how about this Einstein quote? Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. And God knows this nation, it's mostly nothing but mediocre minds. And the debate I had yesterday, one of those very mediocre minds was on display. And they seem to be hard of hearing. They seem to not be able to listen. They seem to be incapable of learning or processing or computing or calculating simple probability. The word was incapable. And the thing about this person is, from what I've observed about him before yesterday, is they're probably smarter than the average person. So in the higher range of the mediocre minds was how I would have previously rated this person. But you heard them come to great conclusions about a subject that they've never studied. And that's what every ignorant person in the world does. They jump to conclusions without doing any research. And literally in that debate, I asked her, I said, "So, like, what kind of things do you actually believe in?" And one of the first things she went to was Stephen Hawking and black holes. And a part of me was like, wait a minute, has she studied me? Because for over a decade, I've made the joke about how these brain dead people will believe the bullshit that's spoon fed to them. And at the top of that list is the retard in the wheelchair who can't even talk or move his limbs, but somehow is articulating the most amazing thoughts and writing these super dense books. This is actually my book, but Stephen Hawking has supposedly about 100 books this thick about space and black holes, but yet is a retard in a wheelchair who the most he's capable of doing is going, and if you guys don't know that that's the case, look it up. I mean, there's old videos from the 80s of him on TV like that. And then the person interviewing him going back like, wow, another breakthrough about black holes. Fascinating, Stephen. And you're watching this and you're going, who in the hell is believing this right now? What breakthrough about black holes was that? And then they're telling you that a guy's invented some modulator that hooks up to his body and reads those vibrations perfectly to compose 1,000-page books overnight. I mean, give me a fucking break. So anyway, that same person who believes in Stephen Hawking, she was trying to downplay all that we did. So I would just like to do something and go over yesterday's sports games, because not only did we decode all the major news stories, once again, we aced the world of sports and we dominated another debate, all in a day where I'm battling the flu. And here, just to recap yesterday's games, again, if you guys are on my Patreon, if anyone doubts that this is the result, hey, how about do yourself the favor of investing in the Patreon? Watch yesterday's live stream, which was put out early in the morning before any of these games were played, and tell me where we're lying, because we're definitely not. So let's go through yesterday's games. So first game on the slate, my advice was to take the Hornets at plus 7.5. Why 7.5? Because the date numerology was 7. How do you get the date numerology? December 31st, 2025. You add 1 plus 2 for 12 for the 12th month, plus 3 plus 1 for the 31st of the month, plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5, which adds up to 16. 16 is 1 plus 6 is 7. So the true date numerology is 7. So if you were born on this date, your numerology number would be 7. So it's a 7 date. Hornets at plus 7.5. How did that work out yesterday? Oh, look at that. They lost by 7. And you pay attention, this stuff goes on day after day. So Hornets at plus 7.5 is a win. Hawks versus Timberwolves. We thought the Hawks had the better narrative as a 5.5 point underdog. I told people I thought the Hawks would win this game. If you want to play it safe, you could also tease them up to plus 7.5 just in case. Hawks won the game. Another win. So 2-0. The Magic and the Pacers. If a dog has a good narrative, I advise my community, take the dog with the points. You could have teased the Pacers up, but I felt that they had enough to cover at 3.5. The Pacers yesterday, they lose by 2. If you have the Pacers at plus 3.5, if you tease them up even more, either way, you win. Pacers win. So we're 3-0 with picks yesterday. Suns and Cavs game. There's a historical pattern with NBA TV games that used to be lights out. For the last 4 years or so has been very hit and miss, but we noticed in this WNBA season it was on fire, and so far in this NBA season it's on fire again, which is interesting that the pattern's coming back. NBA TV equals 14, just ride the 14s. Suns to pick up the 14th loss yesterday on NBA TV. They did. They got beat down. Notice they lost by 16. Again, these date numerology paths. The main path is 16, which breaks down to 7. Ohio also equals 16 in Gematria. The Cavs win by 16. Pelicans versus the Bulls. Notice they fell to 2-12 away. What did we have in our notes yesterday? Pelicans can fall to 2-12 away. Top clue, right? And, yesterday's debate challenger who was hard of hearing, I told her, I said, you study this in the world of sports, you'll see how helpful it is to understand these ciphers. Chicago Bulls. Can you see that it equals 2-1-2? Can you see that Bulls alone is 12? So the Pelicans fall to 2-12 away versus the Bulls, who have connections to 2-1-2 and 12. See how this works? And because she's not because she's not listening and she's just trying to argue. That's the problem with a lot of debates. Notice when I debate people, I don't just try to beat them up. I try to educate them and show the relevance of the work. And you see that my opposition always trying to be like, well, you're getting all these numbers, so there's just so many ways it can fit together. It's like, but are you listening to what we're saying? We continually dominate the world of sports. We continually call futures, news stories, elections, the market, crypto, things that nobody else is doing. You think a person, see, this is the problem with mediocre minds. Greater minds, they resonate with the work. Like punk rock, who called it yesterday, he's like, listen, if you don't resonate this work within 30 minutes learning with it about it, there's something wrong with you. And that might sound like an arrogant statement, but it's also true. There's a lot of intelligent people who say the moment they heard this, they knew it was something they need to learn more about. But you notice the average moron, they think they've already figured it all out instantly, and it's bullshit. And these are the same people that sit around and watch these games and think that they're not rigged. The Knicks and the Spurs game. Notice we haven't missed a game yet. Let's just continue on. The Knicks and the Spurs. And by the way, for anyone out there going, but you haven't say or there's something else. Yeah, you're right. I do. Again, I put what I think is the top scenario on the top. I don't advise people to play every game, but day after day, we have a lot more right than wrong day after day. Again, what I think is the top scenario goes on the top. And also just these mediocre, moronic minds. Again, any intelligent person will also always look at all sides of an issue, not just try to form the opinion they want to see, what they want to believe in. No, you look at both sides. You weigh the scales and you say, I think this is the better choice. That's what you do day after day. Anyway, as you can see here, Knicks falling to 7-8 because New York's 78. Pretty good pattern with New York was the top clue here. Plus the little Wednesday thing and the San Antonio, Texas thing. And did New York fall to 7-8 away yesterday? Hey, close game, but they sure did fall to 7-8 away. I forget who was the favorite in that game. San Antonio was barely the favorite, so that they're 1.5 point favorite. They win by 2, so they cover the spread. Nuggets and Raptors. Here's the one game we got wrong in the NBA yesterday, and a little bit disappointing. Went with the old classic Toronto 117, which has won a lot more in history than it hasn't. But this is the thing about this knowledge, too. You'll notice ebbs and flows with numbers. In this NHL season, Toronto and 117, when it came up, it was hitting. It's also missed the 117 pattern in about the last 3 Toronto Maple Leafs games, and now it just missed with the Raptors. We've been on a nice streak with the Raptors. So that's also where, if you're picking games, you might be like, you know what? The 117's been off with Toronto. I'll still always ride the patterns that have been winning for a decade more often than not. But I mentioned it yesterday in the stream. I said, that 117 has been missing lately. So be careful. And it missed again. But you know what? We only missed one game in the NBA yesterday. And it was that one. How about the Wizards? Huge underdogs versus the Bucks. We've now hit the Wizards for 2 big upsets in just recent days. Wizards, 10.5 point underdog. Major payout here. And I advise to play them in 2 ways. Tease them up 1 point to plus 11.5 because Bucks equals 11 and they love that number. And just in case they lose by 11. But they had a great narrative to upset with a lot of value. I call that the dollar parlay. That could mean just put a dollar down on it with your favorite group of games and try to turn $1 into 20, 50, $100, which you can do with this knowledge. You could have easily done it yesterday. Or some people's definition of a dollar parlay, like if you're a big Al who's been here for years and has a lot of house money, his idea of a dollar parlay is $20. Again, it's all about your bankroll. But, it's like Big Al the other night. He turned a $10 bill in his dollar parlay into $300. That's what he did for that dollar parlay because he was taking 2 huge underdogs that we thought had a great chance to win. That was the night that the 16.5 point underdog Utah Jazz upset San Antonio, which we were all over. He put that with the Blackhawks, who were they playing? It was either the Stars or the Avalanche, and they were plus 300. He put those 2 together with $10, made himself a nice, cool 300. $10 risk to pocket a nice 300. That's a small risk for a nice reward. Anyway, Wizards, just a lot lined up for them. And like I told people yesterday, Wednesday and 37. More often than not, it hits. A lot of value here, plus a whole bunch of other things lining up. And boom, the Wizards upset the Bucks as a 10.5 point underdog. And then the Thunder versus the Blazers. We thought the Thunder would cover yesterday as a 15.5 point favorite. Remember, the date numerology path was 16 yesterday. What's OKC equal? Notice it equals 29 and 16. So they were a 15.5-point favorite. We thought there was a very good chance they'd cover that 15.5, win by at least 16. How much did they win by? They won by 29. So again, our contestant yesterday, who just couldn't listen, she kept saying like, but 4 ciphers. Where do they? And I'm like, how many times can I explain where they come from? How they're all intuitive. They're all based on the alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26. Z is 1 back to A is 26. The alphabetic order with numerology, the reverse alphabetic order with numerology. And see, what we learned about 2 hours into the debate is she didn't even know what numerology was. Now, an intelligent person would say, well, wait a minute, what is numerology? See, I'm assuming that people know what numerology is because, I don't know, I learned about numerology when I was a young person. I didn't really care for it or care about it that much, but I knew what it was. I'm always amazed at how few things people know about anything. And I think it's because a lot of people just spend their lives just doing nothing but entertainment and video games and watching movies and TV shows. As someone growing up, I wanted to understand the world and know about things. So I liked having conversations, talking to older people, reading here and there, watching documentaries. These things add up over the course of a lifetime. If you don't do anything to educate yourself or elevate yourself, you could end up being nearly 30 years old and not knowing shit about shit, or even older than that. And that's why it can sometimes be hard to relate with such a society of mediocre minds who don't know jack shit about anything, but come to instant conclusions like they're some kind of fucking geniuses when they can't tell who's the one with 50 more IQ points than them. So anyway, let's just continue on with our dominant day because we're not done here. But realize, let's count it up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 7 and 1, 8 and 1. 8 and 1, not bad. That's 88% win percentage. Okay, not bad. Now let's hop over to the NHL yesterday. See how we did. So, first game on the slate was the Rangers at the Capitals, and we thought, looking ahead, it made a lot more sense if the Capitals would win this game and their next home game. So, did they win yesterday? Yeah, they beat the Rangers good 6-3. And again, you just look at the scores from, but never mind, I'm not going to get into it. Anyway, the Predators, who were a hefty dog yesterday against the Golden Knights. Notice, nice big payout on the Predators, plus 164. Nice plus money payout. That means if you bet 100, it pays 164. I don't teach my people to bet $100 a game unless you're a millionaire. But what we try to do is we just try to turn small bills into big bills each day. Small risk, nice rewards. Predators yesterday had more going for them than Las Vegas. A winning pattern with Las Vegas is 86 because Las Vegas equals 86 in the most simple cipher. Las Vegas equals 86 in the most simple cipher. And they fell to 8-6-6 at home yesterday, getting upset by Nashville. And the Lightning in the Ducks game, let's see how we did there. We thought that the Ducks had a better narrative to lose and stay on their point total than otherwise. And who won this game? Did the Ducks lose? Yeah, they definitely lost. The Lightning won yesterday. So, okay, right again. And that's why I get annoyed when people are like, she kept asking me, make a prediction. You know, to me, this is laughable. What do I do for a living? How do I make my money? I make predictions. And for 5 years, I gave the world tons of free predictions, help people change their lifestyles in all kinds of ways, have money in their bank account for the first time, buy their first car, make their first house payment. For 5 years, help change a lot of people's lives. I don't feel that I need to be giving out any more free picks. I hardly charge anything to sign up for my platform and to benefit from this each day. Again, you want predictions? Sign up for the Patreon, not be some freeloading chump who can't respect the guy who's been here every single day proving his point in spades. Again, only a mediocre mind wouldn't get it. All right, let's continue on. The Wild and Sharks game. I was on the wrong side of this game yesterday. The Wild, who we've had a lot of success with, and the Sharks, and you got to love the 4-3 score. San Jose equals 43. They have so many 4-3 scores. But, you know, I would have liked to have seen the Wild win yesterday because it would have set up a thing of beauty for the next 2 games. But, you know, you don't win them all. I still don't feel like my read was that bad there, but there were a couple things to think twice about. So, anyway, we got that one wrong. The Jets and the Red Wings. Jets, another underdog plus money here. We thought to take them with the goals. That means that you can lose by 1. The Jets with the goals. They lost by 1. That's a winner. The Devils and the Blue Jackets. The Devils were a slight underdog. We thought taking them with the goals was the right move here, too. They won outright, so they got it done. The Sabres and the Stars. Sabres, big underdog yesterday. Nice upset. They had the better narrative to upset. I did advise to take them with the goals. Sabres went into Dallas and won 4-1. You'll see that score a lot with Dallas because Dallas equals 41. A couple weeks back, we thought Dallas was going to win their game 4-1 for a monster payout. When you can hit the exact score, it's a major payout. And we've done that a lot this year with a lot of hockey games, hit exact scores. I'm probably on my longest drought, though, right now for exact scores. And it's made me refrain for the last few days for even trying to call some exact scores. But we have done it a lot this year. Something most people could never do in their lifetime. We've done it, I don't know. I don't have enough hands and fingers and toes to tell you how many times we've done it. It's been a lot. But yeah, the other week we did have Stars to win exactly 4-1. We felt very confident about that game. It's a lot to explain, but you'll see that score a lot in Dallas. Dallas 41. Remember, Dallas equals 41-13, like LA equals 41-13. 41's the 13th prime. I'm sure it reminds you of Kobe at 41 and his daughter Gianna at 13. But yeah, underdog Sabres did go in and beat Dallas. The Blues and Avalanche, I'm not exactly going to count this one against me because I explained to people yesterday the Blues were a dollar parlay team. Probably not going to win. How many times have I taught you guys about Colorado in 38? The Blues stayed on 38 points. Colorado 38 state. We knew that that was more than likely going to happen, but the Blues were a monster payout in a dollar parlay. They got their asses kicked, unfortunately, but I said if you play that game, dollar parlay, there's a chance. They got crushed like the Avs. If you guys don't know, the Avalanche are the best team in hockey right now. I mean, you bet against them, you're probably going to lose. So anyway, if you want to count that against me, fine, go ahead. But if you were in the stream yesterday, I said, anytime you bet against the Avs, nothing more than a dollar parlay. Flyers, we had them to stay on 20 wins versus the Flames. Just keeps happening. Flames in 20 happens again. And the Bruins and the Oilers, Boston, big underdog yesterday with a better narrative to win. Big old payout. And Boston went in and whooped the Oilers' ass as an underdog. So from the top, 1, 2, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1. You know what? I'll just count it against me, even though it's not a real true L because we're expecting the Avs to win. But we'll just count it wrong anyway. 6-2, 7-2, 8-2, and there's an asterisk next to the 2 because it wasn't really a true loss. We expected the Avs to win, but that we'll just say 8-1 and 8-2. So 16-3. The average sports gambler will never achieve a day like that in their entire life. That wasn't even our best day of the month of December. And it wasn't even close to our best day of the hockey season. We've had so many days this hockey season where there were 11, 12 games in the slate. And if we didn't go perfect, we might have missed one. A lot of them this year. And day after day, we torched the world of hockey. Hockey's actually, it's the best sport for taking advantage of. And here's what kills me about my community. These knuckleheads in my community, a lot of them will not bet hockey because they don't like to watch it. And this is like, I mean, even though I'm talking about people in my own community, I'm sorry, guys, you just can't fix stupid. You can't fix stupid. Who gives a shit what you like to watch? When the NFL has become 10 times harder to decode along with college football, and you just want to keep betting that even though you know it's got a lot harder because that's what you like to watch. This isn't money management. Oh, look, Zach had another 10-1 day in hockey, but you know what? I want to bet the NFL season where we're about 60% on games because that's what I want to watch. Again, you can't fix stupid, you guys. You just can't fix it. And again, I mean, pull your head out of your ass, be an intelligent person. It doesn't matter if you're watching these games. I can't tell you more than 2 names of NHL players right now. I don't need to know who's in the games. I don't got to know who the coaches are. I do know how to play hockey. I understand the sport. But I don't watch these sports leagues, and I don't give a shit who's in the league. All that matters is the way they rig the games day in and day out. That's all that matters. Not if you're watching the game. Why are you even wasting your time watching the game? I'm not watching the games. Find something productive to do. Go to the gym. Learn how to make a healthy food and have it prepped for the week. Instead of, spend all your time sitting in the drive-through line eating jet. It's just, again, you guys, there's just way too many mediocre minds. And like I said, the only people that aren't winning with this knowledge are people that just aren't that smart and can't figure out how to make intelligent decisions. And again, anyone trying to dog my work or be like, oh, Gematria doesn't prove anything, these people are fucking retards. No, it proves everything. Proves everything day in and day out, how rigged the game is. It proves everything I've been saying for over 12 years straight. People like Ron Walker, who live in my comments, always leave these comments. Zach, the only person that you're great to is you in your own mind. Shut the fuck up, loser. Shut the fuck up, you ungrateful loser who sits here and watches videos for years and leaves comments like that. Why don't you call in today since the stream's dropped and tell me what's not great about what I've been doing, you dumb motherfucker? Did I not write the most fucking important book of your lifetime? Because we both know I did. The one that saved a lot of lives, that called exactly the biggest scam of our lifetimes out in the biggest way possible, as fast as it possibly could be called out, that predicted exactly when the scam would end on the money. If this world wasn't full of haters and losers and mediocre minds, you would have a lot of people supporting this work in the way it should be supported. And don't get it twisted. There are a lot of people who support me, and I do well from it. But you know what? Like this Nick Shirley thing, this little fucking Mormon kid who goes around in magical underwear, who's proud to be a nearly 30-year-old virgin, talk about fucking loser, who stands outside of closed daycares and then gets promoted by the vice president, Elon Musk, these puppets on the world stage, and everyone gets involved with that. That's the problem with these mediocre minds. This Nick Shirley kid off his scam video that just brings more division into America over race and religion, which is exactly what they want. He probably made more money that one day off that one video than what I've done in over 12 years, which actually is powerful shit that can help people. That's what's wrong with the world. And it wouldn't be this way if there weren't so many mediocre minds and fucking losers. And for all of you guys out there who think that my work should be even better than what it is, why not get behind it and support it? Like I've said for years, if way more you guys supported the work, I could hire a team of people and we could probably take this to a whole new level that would really blow the socks off the world, even though it should have already been done about 1,000 times over by what yours truly has done alone. Again, for all of you haters out there who don't think it's good enough, how about actually support? How about actually advocate and say things like that? Look, what Zach does, have your criticisms out there, but if you think it can be so much better, how about help make it so much better? And with that said, I don't have a whole lot of time to do another stream today. Again, my daughter's sleeping right now, and when she gets back up, I'm going to have to go tend to that. But I would like to hear from you guys why that's not your attitude and mentality. Can you guys just admit that you're haters, paid for trolls, just people just trying to pour water on a fire that can't be put out? Again, the line is open. The link is pinned. And for anybody who'd like to come in and chime in, have at it. Right now, we don't have anybody in the back. Tell me where I'm wrong. And that's the other thing, too. A lot of you guys who I help out day in, day out and who never send a tip or anything but benefit off the work, I guess people are afraid to put their neck out there. There's so many people in this community who could reach out and say something and speak up and not make it look like, imagine you're a stranger and you're coming by my channel right now. You might be thinking like, listen, I was just watching this fat slob talking about the Nick Shirley video. And man, he was getting all these people to send him all kinds of super chats. And man, he must have made $10,000 in the 30 minutes I was watching. Meanwhile, this guy just said he went, almost 20-3 yesterday in sports. You'd think there'd be some more support out there. You think he'd be getting super chats and people calling in and again, a lot of you guys just leave me hanging, and there's no reason for me to be hanging because everything I'm talking about is straight up facts. That is exactly all the information we put out yesterday morning. And again, this community, guys, a lot of times you guys make you think like, why do I even get up and do it for another day? I've been grinding like this every day since August 2013. And again, it's almost crickets from the people that should be. There should be an army of people standing behind me. And I don't like hearing from the same people calling in every single day. It makes it look like there's one or two people out there that care about the work. So again, people who are listening right now, who are like being like, well, he's talking about people like me. How about today's the day you call in and change that? Um, let me see. King Richard Television says Guy Parmelin took office today. He's the head of the Swiss Confederation, which is 177 years old right now. It comes on his 54th day of his age. By the way, that church that burned up last night, did you run the gematria on that church? It equals 54 and 153, like Jesuit order. Also, like how Bavaria is 54 and the Illuminati is 153. Remember, the Illuminati was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt in Bavaria. Funny how the Illuminati and the Jesuit order have the same gematria. And again, they have these shared history. The Illuminati was founded in the time of the Jesuit suppression. All right. Always Slurking 333 says, you rock. I appreciate that. The wrong link is pinned. Oh, shit. What link is pinned? Did I pin the link to the video? Okay. I'll fix that. I must have pinned the link to the video. Sorry, lack of sleep today. Pretty much been up all day. All right, let's try it again. Okay, I did just drop the link. So, this is weird. I've never seen this before. Okay, I'll drop it one more time. Yeah, sorry, I'm going to have to drop the link manually. All right, let me fix the pinned comments while we wait for people to come in here in the back. Unless everybody's too occupied with talking about the Somali fraud psyop. And that's just why Americans are so dumb. It's like, these people don't care about it. They don't care about the fraud of Cooties 19. And again, more outrage over the Somali fraud than the biggest frauds of our lifetimes, Cooties 19 and what they did on September 11th back in 2001. Fraud that actually matters. Okay. All right. Let's see. I almost got the pinned comments fixed. All right, the link is fixed, but we still don't have anybody in the back. And again, I don't know. Either more people need to find their bravery to speak out, or I need to find better things to do with my time. Because I got to admit, you guys, I don't find the YouTube community that I'm posting to anymore. Sorry if this offends you guys, but to just be worth it. I don't find it worth it. You guys aren't doing enough to help elevate this message. Point blank. Period. This work needs to be out there. It's going to have to take passionate people to get it out there. And I just don't see it from the YouTube community. Hardly any comments left. Again, stuff like this. There should be 500 people in here talking about what we did yesterday to overcome these detractors, these ignorant idiots who have no clue what they're talking about. All right, we got Noble in the back. What's up, Noble?
What's up, man?
And
I
by
was,
the way, thank you very much, Marilyn Miller. I see you out there. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Well, what's up, Noble?
what's up, man? What's up? My bad. I was waiting for my damn earbuds to connect here, but I don't think they will. But yeah, I was just man, I just had to talk about yesterday with damn mooncakes over here. Oh man. What a freaking goddamn man. That's all I can say. Like
Let's be honest too. That video got more likes than most videos
which is crazy.
because people like looking at mooncakes, and that speaks to something about the way humanity is. Again, just being attractive is worth more than almost anything else. I mean, you look at all these girls with their little short clips doing nothing but bouncing around in their little gym shorts, and it's got 50,000 likes, 500,000 likes.
Yup. Yup.
You know, this is all it takes. A girl in some little tight booty shorts, 500,000 likes, doing a squat for 5 seconds
You know,
on a
just put some
short.
fine S in the screen and then boom, everybody's all over it. I mean, that's just what it is. Like, not trying to be not trying to be vulgar about it, but damn, I mean, shit. And these damn hold on, is my shit connected?
Yeah,
I
I
guess
hear
it
you
just
just
ain't gonna
fine.
connect. Screw it. I'll use the phone mic. Screw it. But yeah, man, that's all it took. Like, I noticed, yeah, too, that got like what, 500 likes at least, right?
Well, it had 750 likes when it had a little more than 4,000 views, and like usual, YouTube's not allowing any more likes because I think it's up to like 6.5K views and has maybe 30 more likes than it had when it had 2,000 less views. So,
What the fuck?
but that's
Oh
still a
my
lot better than what you typically see on my YouTube. And YouTube is taking away likes. I mean, every video that I first put out has a great like to view ratio always right away, but then within 10 hours, it has a horrible like to view ratio, and that's because of what YouTube does to the channel. But yeah, you just see the one with her yesterday, even though it really wasn't that creative a video, it has a
God.
lot more likes than normal.
Yeah, like it. I know she was bringing up points that a lot of people tend to like. They want a prediction right there on the spot, like you're a genie or some shit. Like it's supposed to be some sort of magical
Well,
shit.
and again, I could throw out predictions that I have ready to go, the things we talk about, but I'm not just. What's the point? I mean, again, you guys, it's not cap. I have more correct predictions than anybody you ever seen on this earth. And again, is the work where it should be? Maybe it would be if we hadn't been deleted 25 times. But again, it's not. It doesn't make a difference. Like I said, Andrew Wilson was begging for a prediction. I gave him one that was right on the money. That Trump's policies were going to cost the loss of probably at least 1 million jobs. Over 1 million jobs have been lost because of Trump's administration's policy decisions. Do you see Andrew Wilson going back and revisiting that and saying, "Oh, well, his prediction was correct"? No, he's not.
Hell
So,
no, you don't see him talking about that. You don't see none of that shit. And you did call it too, because yep, more terrorists came, more fucking job losses came. Goddamn, more scams. There's a shit ton more scams online when you're looking online for a job now than ever before. Things like Indeed, LinkedIn. Like, bro, it's an absolute fucking joke. Absolute fucking joke. And and then she was like, oh yeah, how come mathematicians don't use it?
I
I
have to
mean,
pause and just address something and get so tired, you guys.
yeah,
I should investigate who created the Jesuits. You should investigate my work with leaving these comments. I know that several of the original members were Jews who converted to Catholicism. Do you know how tiny Judaism is to Catholicism? Do you know how teeny tiny the Jewish religion is? Do you remember
exactly.
any history of Jews leading crusades and conquering parts of the world? Are we on the Jews calendar? Did the
Exactly.
government reopen on Netanyahu's birthday or Arturo Sosa's birthday, who's not the least bit Jewish? Again, did Israel, was it created in a very Jewish ritual or a very Catholic ritual? Because we all know it was very Catholic. It was created on 14/5, like there's 145 more chapters in the Catholic Old Testament. Did David Ben-Gurion, the first prime minister, did he just seem to die arbitrarily, or did he die by a very Jesuit repetitive pattern that paid tribute to those Catholics and those Jesuits? How about one of the last Jewish members of the Supreme Court? Did she just happen to croak on Rosh Hashanah to get replaced by a Catholic? I get tired of this lame brain Jews run the world shit
Yeah.
because they don't. What do you mean, Jew banker? Who invented banking? Was that the Catholic Church? Oh, yeah, that's right, it was. Who invented the education system as we know? Oh, that's right. The Vatican did. You
Sure did.
guys, learn something about something and stop with this ignorant Jews run the world shit. Yeah, Jews are propped up to be the front of media companies and Hollywood and entertainment. And there's a reason for that, but that doesn't mean they run the world. How many Jew presidents have there been? Oh, almost none. How many Jesuit educated ones? Quite a few. Anyway, please go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I was just about to talk about that. The damn Jew shit, man. The Jew scapegoat is like, I mean, yes, they are a piece of the puzzle. Yes, definitely a big significant ass piece, but it's not like on the level that they think. Like the Jews, it's like if you ever they're basically just the banking clan, basically. That's what I call them. That's all it is the damn banking clan. They
And
just
by the
front
way, who runs the
money.
Federal Reserve right now? Is it a Jew or is it a Jesuit?
Exactly, man. Who's right? They put the damn Jesuit up in there, straight up. And even if he was a Jew, he's most likely a Jesuit anyway, because these motherfuckers act like they subscribe to a specific religion and they really fucking don't at all. Like at all, man. And these people, they just can't get past that. It's like, nah, the Jews, man, they're too busy watching. Instead of watching your shit, they're watching fucking documentaries with superb editing, talking about fucking the Steins, probably most likely they're watching that shit. It tells you what you want to hear, all that shit. But they're not really gonna. They won't get any deeper than that. They're just like, hey, Jews, okay, that's it. That's all I need to know. Next video, like, bro, come on, man, come on, man, like, but yeah, it's a damn shame, bro. Motherfuckers out here.
Our debate contestant has stepped into the room, and here's her thing. Why didn't I predict the Swiss incident at our debate yesterday? Did I explain a gazillion times over the last years and in recent days to just expect the big death rituals for Christmas and New Year's, which have rolled in by the numbers just fine? When you ask me, why didn't I calculate it down to that bar in Switzerland? How many bars do you think there are in the world?
I know, right?
Like
Like you
what?
could just pinpoint it.
Probably, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know where to guess. Probably tens of millions of bars exist in the world. Because I spent my time doing something profitable yesterday, helping lead my community to a 90% win ratio in rig sports yesterday, something
Really?
that is worth investing the time in. Can you imagine how much time I would have to spend to solve which bar are they probably going to set on fire to? Again, the point is to understand the way these people work and teach about how you can recognize when they did it. Just like why behind me there's a big old fat license plate that says what is 47,
Yep.
uh, as today's headline about all these burned up bodies for New Year's says at least 47 dead. So anyway, go ahead.
No, yeah, exactly, man. Damn CIA, established what 1947, right? All three of them, the big three agencies. I believe so. Yeah, it was right around that time. Like, come on, man. I mean,
It's funny. Moongate, all these trolls must go to the same academy because she's actually doing everything. This is exactly CT's line of reasoning. Mooncakes, if you're being serious, listen, the world would have been saved a long time ago if you guys would have all just got behind my message and imagine if we just all revolted against these people. This wouldn't be going on anymore.
I know,
That's what I've
right?
been saying we need to do for a long time. We need to get rid of these corrupt governments, these news institutions, these authority agencies. They all need to be gone. They're the things creating all the death and destruction in the world. You get rid of them. You can, and for everyone out there, like, well, we need the police to protect us from the bad people. No, we don't. Allow me to protect myself from bad people. I'll feel a lot safer personally. And if you don't feel that way, you should make yourself capable enough that you're in the same situation.
Bro, man, get some damn spine. All right, arm yourself at some point. I plan to at some point once I get some actual money, to actually afford some heat. But yeah, that's for damn sure. Can't be falling for that shit. Oh, I'm probably on here for long enough. I'm gonna wrap it up with the. But yeah, man, I'm gonna just wrap it up with this, man. Just is Mooncakes back in the chat? By the way, I
She
think I
is.
just heard
She's trolling away.
Oh, she returned. Oh snap!
Mooncakes,
Well,
tell me about our win percentage yesterday in the world of sports, and tell me what don't you get about it.
what don't you understand?
Yeah. By the way, there are mooncakes. CT did put out the other week that you got 4 boyfriends. There are a few guys who are inquiring if they could be your 5th, 6th, or 7th. So if you want to come back on, there are inquiring minds.
Oh damn. Yeah, that's a little. Well, damn. But yeah, man, I'm just saying, like, you can't. This is very real. It is very real. People are over. I think some people tend to overthink it. They think you can suddenly predict the end of the world or some shit. But no. Like, it's not just because they put out the clues first. Normally, hell, they might even let you know way in advance. Way in advance. That's all it is. And you just follow from there. You don't have to make the shit up. That's all I have to say. Jay,
All right.
Jay,
Well, I appreciate it, Noble. Thank you.
yeah, for sure. I'll have some better points next time.
Well, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no problem, man.
All right, we got is it DeBurl? Am I saying that right? DeBurl Productions?
Dobberly, close enough.
Dobberly. It wasn't very close at all. Sorry, Dobberly Productions.
No big deal. First of all, what's up? How's it going? I would say Happy New Year, but I don't think we're all about that, really.
Is it really the new year?
Well, no, it's not. not as, I mean, to 99% of the population, yes, but so yeah, I totally feel your rant, by the way, that you went on. I mean, I live it every day. I mean, I obviously I learned from you years ago, and I've been on my own. I don't have a platform like you just because I haven't been able to really establish something like that. But I mean, I do my own work day in and day out, and I show people all the time. And outside of a handful of people, small handful, most of them just argue and don't want to understand. And it's very frustrating. So I totally understand where you're coming from. But yeah, we definitely can't give up, dude. But it's extremely frustrating. I have a friend, my best friend of like 35 years probably now at this point. His main argument to me the other day was he sees all the world and all this stuff that's going on, and he understands that there's some things aren't right and that things are rigged and some stuff isn't. But when it comes to the numbers, he's just not on board. He's just like, dude, this number stuff is bullshit. Like and then he says there's only 10 numbers. I'm like, well, excuse me? There's only 10 numbers.
When people say that to me, I say, how much money you got in your bank account? Because you can keep the first 10 and give me the rest.
Yeah, right. I mean, first of all, that's a completely dumbass statement. There are 10
What's amazing, I just got to comment because it's amazing. All of us run into these same things, and it's weird how these ideas are in people's minds because it's like, what the hell? Why is everyone coming with the same stupid shit? Where did they all learn this?
I don't know.
I'd never heard this in my life until I started presenting this. And all of a sudden, I'm like, wow, everyone feels this way? There's only 10 numbers. It's like, okay, so what? Should we stop? What's the point of teaching your child to count past 10 then?
Yeah. No, there's 10 digits. There's an infinite amount of numbers. So, but yeah, I mean, and that, I just, and the thing is he's one of those people, he won't take the time, they have little attention span. So it's like, if you actually it's like, dude, I want to show you something visibly. Like, instead of me just put words coming out of my mouth, I want to show you so that you can see what I'm talking about. And he doesn't have the time, I tried to show him something. You can just tell he's tuned out. And then he just starts.
It's just like my mom tried to get my sister to read my book. And do you know what my sister did?
What?
Kicked my mom out of the house.
Oh, that's perfect. Jeez.
Yeah. It's like,
doesn't surprise me.
My sister came to the instant conclusion. My sister witnessed also when Prince died, because I was talking about how I thought it, and then she still didn't even care. Her response was, people die. It's like, you don't think it's weird that a few months ago that I said this was probably going to happen, and then all of a sudden Prince is dead?
Yeah, I mean, it's
closed-mindedness.
I mean, it's very closed-mindedness, and I'm actually lucky that I have a very large, amount of people in my life that do understand this stuff. And I say large, it's a handful of people, but comparatively to most people, it's probably bigger than most. But I mean, like, and again, I'm not trying to like brag or anything when I say this kind of thing, because what the hell kind of a thing is this to brag about? But I can see, just like yourself, because we learn this knowledge, I see patterns and I see where they're going with stuff. And I make notes a lot of time if I notice something. And the day of the Charlie Kirk assassination, literally hours before it happened, I happened to notice the date, and I ran some numbers in terms of stuff that I normally look at. And the date was kind of staring at me, and I'm like, ooh, something might happen today. And I made a note, and I screenshotted it, timestamped. Everyone can see when I made it. I made a note that said today would be a perfect day for a shooting, and it might have something to do with Donald Trump. And hours later, you get the assassination of a Donald Trump ally. And
you might recall, well, it happened just days before the Trump thing. Was the new Eminem album came out, and I showed people that was more foreshadowing for what we've been talking. For people who weren't here, go back and watch my video the day that RFK signed his paperwork to get in the race for the presidency, April 5th, 2023. I explained that day how it foreshadowed that there'd be assassinations in the 2024 election campaign trail. Again, 1860 election, assassination of Lincoln. 1960 election, assassination of Kennedy. The 60th U.S. presidential election, the assassination attempt on Trump. And then 60 weeks later, the Charlie Kirk assassination. But again, the day that RFK Jr. filed his paperwork, it was April 5th, 144 days after the Superior General's birthday. His dad died at 1:44 a.m. His uncle JFK died 144 days from meeting with the Pope. Lincoln shot on the 14th day of the 4th month. Jesuit Order 144. So is Kennedy curse. But again, we had all that called out April 5th, 2023. And even before that happened, we were saying that there's this history of 60 and assassinations, and then you get RFK Jr. in the race, and we're like, oh, here we go. It's just adding to what we're saying.
Yep.
And don't forget, it was 45 days after JFK's birthday anniversary that the Trump hoax happened. Like, Trump was still only number 45 at the time in history. And 45, isn't that the day that RFK filed his paperwork? April 5th, 4-5, like Dealey Plaza equals 45. And don't forget, that was the same day that you had the earthquake on the Trump golf course, if you remember that one.
Yep. I do recall that. Yep. It's just insane how, if you're actually paying attention and tapped in, what you can see. And actually I did the same thing. That wasn't the first time it happened, but do you recall that, I don't know, a few months ago at this point, or even longer, there was a shooting in Atlanta at the CDC headquarters, and they said,
and also Emory across the street.
Yeah. So the night before that happened, I was looking at that day, and I made a note that said tomorrow. I literally said tomorrow looks like a good day for a shooting with the numbers I was seeing, and I said I'm also seeing a lot of COVID numbers for tomorrow. And then what did we get? We got a shooting that had to do with the COVID vaccine at the CDC. So, and that's another one that I show people. And, it's just like, these aren't random. I'm not getting lucky. I'm seeing patterns, and anyone can do this if you're tapped in and can see. It doesn't have to be that difficult, but the stuff that we show, they're like, oh, that's what annoys me. They're like, oh, you're always showing stuff after the fact. Yeah, a lot of times that's true. But the point is that it's not all about predicting, because like, someone else just alluded to, it's like they want you to predict things on the spot. And if you can't, that's all this is good for, is predicting. Well, no, it's not. Like
I said to her yesterday, I said, should we just get rid of all detective work? Because what's the point of having detectives if they can only solve the crime after the fact?
Yeah. Right. It goes both ways. But yeah, that's just the most annoying, rebuttal. Well, then predict something. You should be able to predict everything. Yeah, okay. We can predict quite a bit, but the whole point is showing what's happening, and that, something needs to be done about it. And that they're
By the way, Mooncake's in the chat. Had you signed up for the Patreon, you could have turned $5 and to probably enough last night to pay for your MacBook Pro. Again, make better use of your time. You're spending your time as a 27-year-old woman playing video games at night. To me, that's pathetic, to be perfectly honest. Find something better to do with your time. Video games isn't getting it done.
Yeah, and I do understand some people's argument in saying, oh, using this stuff for gambling is satanic, and like I mean I don't believe that at all. But it's more like why not take advantage?
What's satanic about it? The system's rigged. It's mocking you. Why not take advantage back?
Exactly. But I had my aunt at Christmas. My uncle's tapped in with me, and my uncle and I were running some numbers on the sports on Christmas on football, and she's like, that's satanic using that kind of stuff for gambling. And I'm like, okay, like why? Just like, what's your explanation? Because you looked it up online and you saw something that said that, but
right. Like, what's satanic about it? I'm not worshiping some entity. I'm not worshiping myself. I'm saying, listen, the game's rigged. We all got to pay the bills in this money system. Why not do it this way?
Yeah, right. I mean, they may be the ones.
Who am I hurting by doing this other than the people rigging the game?
Exactly.
Are you saying that taking advantage of the dishonest ones, that's satanic? It seems like to me that's closer to justice.
Personally, I think ignoring what's going on is more of a satanic. Well, not satanic necessarily, but that's a way bigger problem than actually trying to figure it out and show what's going on. But hey, I do want to. Actually, one of the reasons I tapped in was because. And it's not even that big of a deal, but I just noticed something, and I was trying to comment on your previous video today. And as happens pretty much 9 times out of 10 when I try and comment on one of your videos, it doesn't get posted. I don't know why, but it just something it's
everybody. By the way, it's part of the reason I've stopped responding to people's comments is because I realized what YouTube was doing. When I started responding to people's comments, it's deleting comments that already exist because they're setting some kind of like cap for how many comments can be shown. So that if I leave 5 responses, all of a sudden 5 comments from you guys disappear. And I think that's also going on when other people comment. If their comment stayed, somebody else's got deleted. And that's how lame this platform is. They're so desperate to make sure that this thing stays buried, this channel. Likes get taken away, comments get taken away. Those are the things that make videos go up in the algorithm.
Yeah, they really don't. Yeah, they work hard to make sure this doesn't get anywhere for sure.
It's disgusting, really. It's pathetic, and that's why I also think there is a chance that we can fight back and win. Because if not, why do they have to continue to suppress us? If the game's already done for and put away, well, what's the point of even suppressing anybody?
That's what I think every day. You're exactly right. I mean, if there was no, there's a reason they do what they do, and they're doing it because they have to. So, so anyway, the comment I was trying to leave was just a simple comment. So I don't know, it's not like it should be censored or anything. But so what I noticed today when I was looking at Mamdani is on his Wikipedia page now, it is saying he's the 112th mayor of New York City. And obviously we had been talking this whole time about him being the 111th mayor in connection with 9/11. And so I found that extremely odd. And I even went back, and you can look on the Wayback Machine, and Eric Adams was listed as the 110th mayor.
It's probably a temporary glitch by Wikipedia because Giuliani was definitely the 107th. 9/11 happened on the 107th day of his age, like military's 107. And that was the year of the 107th World Series. And then we invaded Afghanistan on October 7th, 107. I'm guessing that's got to be some kind of
well even on Adams' page it's listing him as the 111th mayor now, and you can go back, even they just changed it because you can use the Wayback Machine and see that even yesterday he was the 110th mayor. And so I found it very odd and just wanted to mention it. At the same time though, Mamdani did just take office today, 112 days after 9/11. So
remember, the Jesuits operate in 112
exactly
countries.
Yep. So if it is a temporary glitch, well, there you go. If it goes back, it's like, oh, it was a little tribute just today, or I don't know, but we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, here's the New York City database for governors. Adams was 110, so Mamdani should be 111. Yeah, yep. Wikipedia will do funny things like that. It's just like when Jake Butt, the tight end for Michigan, got drafted and fell from expecting the first round to the 145th pick in the draft. Wikipedia kept his name up as Jake Dick Butt for 2 straight weeks.
I recall that.
Yeah, again, Catholic equals 145. He fell to the 145th pick right after his coach shook hands with the Pope. That was Harbaugh at the time, who was the coach of Michigan. So it's like, look at this sick Catholic joke. Jake Butt, the tight end, is now Jake Dick Butt, which reminds of Dick Buttkiss on Wikipedia. And that's not his real middle name. His real name's not Dick, but that's what Wikipedia did for 2 weeks after the draft.
Yeah, Wikipedia can do some weird things, but a lot of times it does seem to kind of, echo. Like, it seems to happen for a reason a lot of times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. But even if you go, because I did look up, I went to their Wikipedia page, a list of New York mayors on the Wikipedia page. And even when you go to that page, it's listing, it's like, where did they come up with an extra mayor? I mean, I didn't take the time to go through and like the list you're looking at and compare, but it's like, how all of a sudden do they have an extra mayor? I don't understand, but so
I'm going to take a screenshot of this right now, and we'll see if somehow you just never know. I mean, that's what I mean. We are in the Orwellian age where information can change overnight, since everyone's looking at digital screens rather than actual newspapers and books and magazines.
Right.
So,
yep.
You know what? I got to let a few more people get in here, and then I got to wrap this up because I do got to get back to family business. But hey, great call.
Yep.
And how do you say your name again?
Dobberly.
Dobberly. Okay, I got to get that right next time you call in.
All right.
Appreciate it, Dobberly.
Yep. Have a good one.
Take care, man.
All right. Bye.
All right. King Richard, Julius. Oh, Mooncakes is back. How about that? Glutton for Punishment. Victor Booth, the God Emperor, and Big Dog Sports. Big Dog must be a glutton for punishment too. I'll give you another shot. What's up, King Richard?
Yo, what's up, Zach?
Yeah, what's up?
I don't know if you saw that. I know you mentioned the Netherlands fire that happened at the church. Yeah, it does something. It equals Jesuit order, literally. But they said a 38-year-old man supposedly died in the fire. A 38-year-old and a 17-year-old.
Like New Year's and fire. Okay.
Yeah, and they supposedly said the explosive, which is the fireworks. And when you think about fireworks, does it remind you of the Jesuits?
Order? Yeah, of course. And they said it was 154 years old, and that's 201, the 154th composite. So.
Yep. Not only that, but when fireworks even equals 56, right?
Thank you very much, Kelly Green. I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, it's obvious who's doing this stuff. The same people who gave you the calendar and are the death cult that made New Year's Day the middle of the dead season.
Yep. When everything's dying out. But I mean, literally, just to sit here and say that, make a prediction right now. It's like you've been talking about this shit for over a decade now, about how they do shit by the number 38 on New Year's and Christmas. And here we have just these 2 38 stories just connected to each other. The fire, the other fire at the Swiss ski resort, and now you got this fire pretty much on the same day in the Netherlands, connected to the number 38. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
This shit is a joke, man. But yeah, I seen Mooncakes was in the.
She's in line. She wants to come back on.
She wants to come back on. I guarantee you she's going to come back with her same talking points. I guarantee it. I watched the entire debate yesterday, and I wouldn't even say that's really a debate. She just kept talking over you. You were trying to, explain.
Well, she kept coming back to the same question that was answered in the opening minutes about why we do the 4-base ciphers, because it was put forth in a book by somebody who knew a lot about the occult. Right. Gave it to the reader to investigate if there was any merit to it, which obviously there is.
Right. And you've been showing that for over a decade now. You've been showing that for damn near 13 years now. So yeah, anybody just dismissing this shit, I'd say is a retard. I'd say is a real retard. I mean, how can you not comprehend that words equal numbers and numbers equal words? I mean, literally, numbers are a language. Numbers are a language.
Mathematics is recognized as the universal language, indeed.
Exactly.
All right, King Richard. Hey, I appreciate it as always. I'm going to get those details, and like I said, I got to get everybody in here, and then I got to go get back to family business. But thanks as always, man. Thanks for being probably the #1 decoder in the world right now. If I had to put out a ranking chart, you're at the top.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, take care. Now, granted, he does drive me nuts a lot of time, but still, I got to put him #1 on the chart right now. Well, what's up, Julius?
On Zach, real quick, man. Already a great start to just using this knowledge for rig sports. A couple things already came through. If you type in Alabama equals 13, and then number 13 on Indiana got his 13th touchdown, a receiving touchdown on the
Wasn't that you like the guy to get the 27th touchdown versus Miami yesterday too?
Yeah.
Just Julius hasn't even been around that long, but he gets it.
But honestly, I just wanted to. There's a couple things I want to say. I know you're trying to get off. I guess my first question, I know she's in the chat, but I wanted to just ask her, just objectively, would Mooncake consider herself an open-minded person?
Let me put her on for you. She can just
Oh,
respond to you directly.
All
Hello?
right.
hey, what's going on?
Hey.
My question to you is, would you consider yourself an open-minded person?
I think very open-minded. I mean, I'm a Buddhist, so
Okay, so are you open-minded to the possibility of this knowledge being true and being used in practice every day?
actually I was. When I first met Zach and everyone was like
Okay,
making fun of him, I
okay.
was listening to him and I said, Zach, explain it to me. Explain what gematria is. And Zach, you can't say you didn't. I asked you to sit there and explain it to me. Did I not?
And I said, I explained to you about 56. Now it's number in high ritual. And the very next day, the 56th pick of the NFL draft died by the numbers. To me, that would make me go, wow, maybe he
Well,
does know what he's talking about.
what I'm trying to say is that I was open to what you were saying. I didn't initially shoot it down.
So what's changed? Like what specifically has he brought to the table that you just concluded that it's false from the
So
time that he first introduced it to this point?
so basically over time when he would like give me these dates or these numbers, I would do my own little research and I could see that, like basically an infinite amount of connections could be made. And then when you discuss the sports betting, if you want me to be honest,
Mm,
that becomes unethical for me. So when
okay,
you give betting advice, usually you like, okay, casinos require an edge, right?
right.
Gematria has none. So charging for it, charging for that information that he's
Well, here,
giving
ask
is
Julius,
Wait,
unethical at best.
wait.
who's in the community if he thinks it gives him an edge.
It does give me an edge, first of all, but second of all, just because you view something as unethical doesn't make it objectively false.
But it is objectively false. It's not true. It can't be
Okay,
proven
but
right and it can't
that
be
wasn't your
proven wrong.
argument. Your argument is that it's unethical and that's why I don't believe in
But
it. But that's
that's
not a
part
fair
of my
argument.
argument. I have multiple parts of my argument, so that's just one
Okay,
part of it.
okay. So what's the next one?
The one is that, and I said this yesterday, it's not objectively true. So gematria can't be proven true and it can't be proven wrong. There's an issue there. That means it's not verifiable. There's no test. There's nothing I can test it with to prove that gematria is real.
To me, that's just like we prove it through like I'm not sure if you viewed Zach's sports channels at all. I mean, we proved it. Like I just gave an example. Like, what are the odds? There's a guy who wears number. There's a football game going on right now, Indiana versus Alabama, correct? Are you aware of that?
I'm not aware with like football and stuff.
Okay.
Is my
So if you type in the word Alabama, it equals 13. There's a
okay.
guy who wears number 13 on Indiana playing against Alabama who just scored his 13th receiving touchdown of the season. Do you think
Okay.
that's just like a coincidence?
Well,
Um,
if he
like
scores
I give
more,
you like 100 examples.
no, but for example, with that one you just gave me, right? If he scored
Okay,
his 13th, what if
right.
he scores another one tomorrow? Then he's up to 14.
But
Then the
he's
Well,
next,
they
playing
only
Alabama
play once a
today.
week.
yeah,
They only
but
play. That's not gonna
the
happen.
thing is that the issue with gematria, and I understand
But
it.
they're
Mooncakes,
not playing
mooncakes,
Alabama
hold on,
tomorrow.
mooncakes.
A
You know
different
what you
pattern,
don't
right?
understand is how much money we've won off understanding the
How much have you
13 or
lost?
hold on, look, for the community,
Can
countless
you show
bundles
us?
of
Do you
money.
have a
Okay,
spreadsheet?
look at these headlines from a
Zach,
few years
do you
ago.
have a spreadsheet?
At least 13 Alabama college campuses targeted with bomb threats. Again, this stuff is laughable. We've been teaching about
Okay,
13 in Alabama a decade before those
Zach,
headlines even
do
came out.
you have a spreadsheet of your losses and wins? Because I would love to see it.
Listen, if we had to go over Alabama 13 losses and wins, we're probably talking about a win to loss ratio of 9 to 1.
Your sports betting. I would love if you have a spreadsheet.
Yeah,
Let me
probably
talk.
a conservative estimate is 9 wins for every 1 loss off 13 in Alabama.
Off 13 Alabama. I'm not talking
That means you
Alabama.
win 90% of the time. That's
I'm
what that
saying
means.
your total sports betting. So everything you've bet, not just this game. I'm talking about overall from your career. It can be like 6 months worth.
So, Julius, do you even want to hear any more of it? I mean, this is just like nonsense.
I mean, I was
There's
trying
no
to.
follow up. Well, what about tomorrow if he plays another team and he scores his 14th? Listen to how
Yeah,
dumb that argument was.
yeah, like it's not a fair argument considering that
Did it
this
sound like
guy,
she was
this guy's
open-minded or just like desperate to like come up with an
yeah.
there's not football games every other day, Mooncakes. They play once a week, first of all.
Right. And they're not going to
It's
play
just
Alabama every day. They never play
that's
Alabama.
why it's just like,
Indiana never plays Alabama. They're not in the same
and
conference. They
and
played,
why
what, once
did you
before?
like the receiver to pick up his 27th touchdown versus Miami yesterday?
Because if you type out Miami, it equals 27.
And again, if you're thinking we're using a million ciphers, Julius, have I not been quite articulate about how this is the one cipher that's the best for making your bets in sports?
Yeah, the most we call it the most pure.
That's what I call it, at least. And again,
Oh, that's
Miami
what. Yeah, I learned that
27,
from you,
Alabama
but
13.
yeah. And I was just gonna say, Zach, the last thing I was gonna say. I mean, I just don't understand how. Well, my first point was, first of all, just because something is unethical doesn't make it false.
This is somebody who, by
I,
the way, has her tits hanging out every night playing video games with how to cash app her.
but so that's what I'm kind of getting into, Zach. Like the people who hang around CT's community, they're not worth your time debating. Like
You're
I
right.
feel like
Because
no,
again, I mean, like, oh, so what's ethical is
yeah.
just having your tits hanging out, playing video games, saying, send me a cash app. Here, let me get her on here to clarify that. Mooncakes. What's more ethical about having 4 boyfriends and asking other men online to buy you computers and having your tits hang out while you play video games while you beg for cash apps? Tell me what's so ethical about it.
Zach, you're the one who asked me to debate. And I said, okay, Zach, if we debate, can I get a MacBook? And you were entertaining it. So I don't know why you're bringing this up now when we were having a conversation. I mean,
I already heard enough. She can't defend her point.
Well, it seems like she really needs a MacBook, so why would she ever concede?
Yeah.
But yeah, nonetheless, I just want to say, I know you're trying to get out. I just want to make this point really clear. The people over there are not worth debates. Like I honestly, like maybe I'll help and see if I can do my own research to find out people that would be willing to hear you out on radio shows. Like I'm actually gonna do some research when I find, because I feel like there is a group that will hear it, and once they hear it and you're on a show, they'll probably get silenced for it. But that could also be an example of to be like, oh, I just got silenced after this man was explaining this to me. So I feel like the group that you got present this to has just got to shift to like, because these guys like with the CT's group, like they're not for real. They're honestly they're just like trolls to me.
Here, Julius, this might sound crude to some people.
Yeah.
I am desperate to get this knowledge out there to the world because I feel like the world really needs it to wake up and change. And again, I mean, this information can save lives and help people see through real agendas that are nefarious to all of us. Am I wrong to think that maybe we should start a Gematria porn company where just in the background of porn scenes, there's Gematria decodes, real simple ones? Is this an obscene and unethical idea?
I get your point, but I would definitely not do that. Like that's.
Let me ask Mooncakes if she'd be willing, because this could actually be how she earns her laptop. I think a lot of people would like to watch the Mooncakes scene. Mooncakes, is that something you'd be willing to do? Because at least 4 or 5 guys reached out to me to see if they could get in contact. I'm sure they'd love to shoot the first scene with you.
Is this how you speak to your daughter and your wife?
Well, I'm not going to teach my daughter to hang out online with her tits hanging out to beg for cash.
Like this? I have a degree in accounting and finance. I've worked for hedge funds, Zach. Would you speak to your daughter like this?
Okay. So is this a yes or a no?
I'm asking you. Ask your daughter and ask your wife.
Well, they don't conduct themselves like you.
Yes,
I mean,
you
I'm
do.
asking you because of who you are.
You know, your wife obviously does.
Okay. All right. I guess it's a no.
But that's just also
some women out there who are willing.
Like that's just distracting from the point. Getting this whole this whole thing is just distracting from the message we're trying to get out. Talking about how attractive she is or whatnot. Like let's just push that to the side as well, because let's really talk about what matters, and this is this knowledge and getting out there. Like so, I know you're trying to get other people on. Last thing I'll say, like just let's try to hone in on find like a real group that would be willing to debate and go back and forth, and like actual intellectual people, not pay people that like failed in their first area or like just like are looking for some. Like the way I see CT's group is like I say like CT's like a failed actor, like turned political pundit, kind of like a Ben Shapiro, and like all those guys are just kind of in the same clan or same group trying to keep you down as well from like actually getting out to real people that'd be willing to come to the table.
The one thing about them and the reason I entertain them is they remind me of real people because they actually act the same way. My sister acts the same way. The people I went to grad school with act the same way. They act like the normies.
No doubt, but it's time to elevate to a whole new crowd. It's just time. I feel like
the frustrating thing is, though, I mean, after the mass censorship, how do we elevate? Let's be honest. Finally, we got a little outreach with the Charlie Kirk video, but then it got taken down for hate speech in no time, even though there was zero hate speech. And you can see that since that's happened, I'm even in a more lockdown algorithm because everything's even worse now. Yeah,
no, you're right. Exactly. Like I don't have the answers. I'm trying to also figure it out. But what I do know for a fact is we're 100% wasting our time with that group.
No, I
And that
agree that
crowd.
they are just a complete waste of time. It's a clown show
Yeah.
over there.
But yeah, I know some other people are trying to get on Zach. Appreciate it, and yeah, looking forward to a good year, and hope your family feels better.
All right. Now, Mooncakes is up next. Mooncakes, if I just horribly offended you, I'm sorry, because it sounded like you were a little hurt in your voice, and I don't mean to be mean to women, but
No,
I do
it's not.
see that you and CT's camp are disingenuous people,
think-
and it is quite disappointing.
I think the way you say things, I think that you got triggered because I disagree with you. So you started saying disgusting things, which is fine. You guys do it all the time. They do it on CTs. You can
Well,
do it
you
as
said
well.
you said what we're doing is unethical, which is it is.
Yeah, I said the sports betting. What's crazy is because I said sports betting was unethical, you went to, oh, do you do porn? Oh, all your boyfriends, all of this. Like, you can do that, right? But you realize that defeats the purpose of the conversation. When I was talking to Andrew Wilson, did I have my
anyway,
boobs
Mooncakes, all I wanted to say is I hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
hurt my feelings?
Have a great
No.
rest of your life. No, because again, talking to her is a waste of time. And let's be real. So anyway, let's go on to the next person. What's up, Victor?
Hey, Zach, man. I just wanted to give you a shout out, man. I really appreciate your work. I've been following you, I guess, since 2016. I live in Washington, D.C. I think I talked to you on a live back in January, but my wife is a lot like your sister. They don't believe anything. And I made a good return on my investment in the games. I think when Gonzaga played, God, what was that gentleman's name that played for LA that died at 86 years old?
Elgin Baylor.
Yeah, when they played Baylor. So I was listening to a live stream, and there was a woman on the call that said she, out of the 4, I got all 4 in the finals because of that call. And I told my wife, because she was like, anybody can prognosticate this, that, and the other. They're all guessing. When I showed her the 500 bones I made, she looked at me. She looked at me. She said, "Congratulations." Really? I was like, yeah, goddamn it. Yeah, I said, so, and guess what? She said, what? And I said, you ain't getting none of this. Yeah. So, I mean, and there's a lot of people that I've run into. You're not the only one that's frustrated. Like, I got a buddy, he's Catholic. My whole family raised Catholic, both sides of the family. I come out of DC, out of Georgetown, and my grandparents weren't allowed to go on the campus. And so anyway, long story short, it's just that I got a buddy who's still devout Catholic. I did the numbers game on him. I showed him letters and numbers. I showed him how 77 flew 70 minutes labor into a building that's 77 feet tall and 77 really west, yada, yada. He said, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You just can't get these people because these folks cannot admit that they've been lied to their whole fucking life and that everything that they think they know, they don't know shit about it. And they will not, like here in DC, we can go to the Library of Congress, you know, we can learn a whole lot. And but they don't want to read anything. But what you're giving us is science. Science, the way you arrive at the truth is you got to have a hypothesis and you have to have test cases. And that's how we arrive at truth. And I mean, like a lot of these these people who believe in the flat earth, and Dr. Shiva just had a challenge to like Flat Earth Dave, who didn't show up. And they didn't know anything about math. So you're dealing with people who are illiterate about math. And I think there's a book out called Math.
Flat Earth Dave, a guy who's made $1 million, more than that, off his Flat Earth app, just taking advantage of ignorant people. And yeah, can't defend any of his points and makes himself look like an asshole anytime he does an interview with intelligent people. So he's learned better to not even do it. It's just only going to mess with his grift.
Exactly. He had no idea about the scientific method. Shiva said, well, I'll bring my guys from MIT. You bring your smart boys from the Flat Earth community. And let's prove it.
Did you see when Flat Earth Dave went on Lord Jamar's thing to talk Flat Earth, and the way he related to the Flat Earth to Lord Jamar was through a bucket of fried chicken?
No, no, I didn't see that.
No, man, it's embarrassing.
But man, I appreciate you, man. You pontificate. You don't rant, man. You are the shit, man. And you have to look at this like a pot of water on a stove. When you turn the heat on, what your work is what we call a phase transition. You're touching a lot of souls on this planet. So don't ever think that it isn't, because it's changing people's lives. You're feeding motherfuckers out here. And that is, I mean, we're eating off this fucking work, man. So somebody's going to ask you to show me how many times you win and lose. Fuck you. How many times you win and lose? How many bets do you place in the stock market and hope that your retirement is there by the time you retire and it's gone? Because you would, if you had this knowledge, you would be able to know what when they're ready to make a move on your retirement, then you can move it. So a lot of what you're doing, man, is fucking truth, man. And you can't, the road to freedom is seldom traveled by the multitude. A lot of these people, they just want to be left alone, you know, they want to normalize obesity. They want to sit back and get fat and stupid and lazy. They want somebody to save them. And your work is teaching us to save ourselves, period. And I love you, man.
I appreciate that.
And kiss baby girl for me. I love those photos of baby girl, man. That it just makes my day, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, you know, you guys are gonna have to go over the ones that are there because Mom said she's not doing the 1 month photo shoots and every month.
I agree. Yeah, because you can be charged with pornography now. The way they coming up with all this madness with, you know, showing your face to be a YouTuber and all this bullshit. You got to watch it. I agree with that. She's right.
But for everybody on the phone or on the, what do they call that? The community page or whatever, there's a lot of great photos there. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Have a good one, man. Thank you.
Yeah, take care.
Bye-bye.
We've had up these quotes with these white faces from Einstein and Mark Twain. You know, the man who has the greatest quotes in as far as I know, is Malcolm X. You guys ever want to read a bunch of great quotes? Search Malcolm X quotes. I have to paraphrase, but his one about how, you know, the powers that shouldn't be will have you hating the messenger rather than, you know, the person doing evil to you. That is the truest one because nothing gets more hate and scrutiny from the masses than the person trying to expose this evil. Let's go out to the God Emperor, and then we got Big Dog, and then we got Richard Quinn, major advocate of the community. Then we got 7 Bobby 7, then Gematria 32, and Big Money. What's up, the God Emperor?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, what's up, Zach? Quick question: if I'm richer than you'll ever be, I'm Catholic, so I already control the Gematria.
Hey, Imperious, could you do me a favor, and then you can talk as much as you want to me? Because what I respect that you do is when you break down the Catholic dominance of the world. Nobody does it better. Can I hear it, please?
No, I was getting to that, but I was, as I said, like if I'm already Catholic and Catholic is the overarching power over the Jesuits, is there any of this that you're saying that is useful to me?
Well, not to someone like you who's all knowing and part of it.
No, that's all I wanted. Like, because remember, I mean, look, you have Moon up there. I mean, Moon's just a silly girl. You pat her on the head and tell her to get her head back on your lap. I don't understand why you're even like entertaining it. Like Zach, I look, I think you're good at positive reinforcement marketing, which is really, I think you do have intelligence. I don't think you're stupid, as other people do. I think you've created a circular epistemology that kind of makes stupid people not be able to understand it. I mean, I understand what you're doing. It's just like Moon's just sitting up here upset because she's a girl and mad, but like the people that I get what you're doing, and that's good. Just be careful because like what was that Trudeau guy back in the early 2000s wrote those self-help books and stuff like that, and he's in federal prison. So just be careful on how far you go with it. But yeah, the Catholic Church is the single largest landowner in the world. It has its own bank. It's in every nation in the world. It's the only religion allowed in China. We have a quarter of Congress. We have the presidency. We have the courts. Everything's. I mean, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, all those are ours.
You must be hungover right now because normally you're bang, bang, bang.
No, I know, dude. I was on last night. Dude, you must have not heard me on JP's last night. Dude, dude, I'm waiting for Wilson, dude. Like he was on there, and I'm enjoying, dude. The downfall is coming. You should particularly be very happy about all this because I don't know if you see the vultures circling the dead whale carcass, but Abba Preach released a video about him today. Other channel, like, dude, people are finally understanding that the guy stands on dead children to try to be something when it was never his kid, and he talks about how Brian abandoned his kid when in reality Brian went all the way to the Nevada Supreme Court to get custody of his kid, and Andrew Wilson sits around. So I don't really care, Zach. You can do this all you want. You're nowhere near the piece of shit that guy is. You do you make your money. I don't care, Zach. But that piece of shit is sitting there. You're not trying to lead some moral crusade around the world, Zach. You're just sitting here telling what information you're going to tell people, and if they believe it, they believe it. They don't, they don't. But I
got to ask you something. When you hear everyone say Jews run the world, what's your response to that?
What the world? Sorry, it cut out.
When people say Jews run the world and laugh at me
Oh,
saying
come
I'm a
on, dude.
shill for
Jesus
saying it's the
Christ.
Catholic Church, what do you
Yeah,
say?
come on, do people understand that an assurance, the only reason the Jewish state existed is that the Catholics control all Christian holy sites in the Holy Land? Like
I
the
know
Jews
you
have
do.
no control over the Church of the Holy Sepulchre or Golgotha or any of those places. Like they don't have any, like the Catholic Church has control of it. Why can the Catholic Church go into Qatar and have masses with like 400,000 people in a Muslim country?
How many of the most prominent people in social media are Catholic compared to Jewish? Could we do a rundown of that?
Well, most of them.
They're almost all Catholic, aren't they? Or they
Exactly.
converted to Catholicism
Exactly.
recently.
Because the thing is there's very few of them. How do you there's 13 million actual Jewish people in the world. How do you argue with 2 billion versus 13 million?
Again, do you think it is? Do you think the Jews are right though about the average Gentile being a goyim, a lesser?
No, I think that is just I think it's there. Okay, the thing about the star people is they're just very interconnected and they stick together. So when one gets money, they all help the others get money. It has nothing to remember. The only reason the Jews even got into banking or money is because the Catholic Church allowed them to, because we didn't get into money changing. If we would have just wanted to get into money changing back in the Middle Ages and we were okay with that, the Jews would have never even existed in Europe. People don't realize that. Like the Jews are insignificant. Like, what do I care about that when my countries have like thousands of nuclear missiles? Like, what is the most secure location in the world? It's not the White House. It's not Israel. It's not Tel Aviv. It's the Vatican. Like, people are stupid, dude. Like, if people don't understand the amount of surveillance, the amount of security, the amount of militarization of that place, the most secure place in the world is the Vatican archives. There's secrets there. There's money there. There's knowledge there that nothing has. Not the Smithsonian, not the Pentagon, not the White House, no. That's thousands of years of human history. And who controls history controls the future. Like, it's not
no
hard.
argument over here. You have no.
It's not hard,
here.
guys. Like, it's not that hard. And the thing is what's so great is that we've tricked people into believing it's the star people instead of us. We can do it all out in the open. Remember that this country was formed to get away from us. And now it's controlled by us.
Now, what about all the people that say, but what about the Rothschilds? I thought they ran everything.
Okay, great. They have $1 billion. Like, what? Do you think any of their wealth is equal to the Cologne Cathedral?
Exactly.
Or St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York? Like, just that, those buildings are literally priceless. The artworks that the Catholic Church has in the Vatican are literal priceless. Billionaires don't invest in money. They invest in priceless art, one-of-a-kind things.
But didn't you hear that the Rothschilds own the Vatican?
Yeah. What army? The Vatican owns literally armies. Throughout the history, dude, we crowned Holy Roman emperors. We crowned emperors. We crowned kings. What army?
Look what happens when the Pope comes to America. The world shuts down. When Netanyahu's here, subheadline.
Yeah, dude. The Pope goes in. Dude, who was the first person Trump and Vance visited?
Now, here's what I want to ask you. The Pope dies on Rome's birthday on Trump's 312th day of his age after getting 312 electoral college votes. And then we get the first Chicago Pope from the 312. You think these things are a coincidence?
I mean, honestly, as I said, I don't know if they're coincidence. All I'm saying is the Holy Spirit works in the way that God is tinkering with society. And whether you want to see it as numbers, I don't care. But we define the reality. We control the universe. We manifest our will into the universe itself. And you can see it firsthand in everything. That's all I'm going to say. And mooncakes, when you come over tonight, make sure you wear red. I'll talk to you later, Zach.
All right, buddy. Take care. If you guys don't know, that's Imperious. And I don't think anybody's ever heard Imperious speak for so long without dropping 5,000 F-bombs. So that was in rare form. But he's a Catholic educated lawyer. And he is always proud to talk about how the Catholics run the world, and he's not wrong, you guys. And all you guys who think it's Jews, you don't have a clue about anything. Not a clue. Now, here's Big Dog who wants to come back. Now, Big Dog, I had to cut you off because you annoyed the hell out of me by going, no, first of all, the drug war didn't start in 2000 when I said it started 19 years before 2001. So if you want to come halfway correct today, let's do better, big dog.
The war on drugs started in 1971 under Nixon.
I understand that there was war on drugs, but it officially started in 82 under Reagan. Just look up the timeline.
1971, Nixon declared a war on drugs act.
Look up what happened in 82 under Reagan when they started putting a lot of people.
What you're referring to was the reboot of something Nixon had already declared. That's all Reagan did, was just reinforce what Nixon had previously declared. That's all I was trying to say. I ain't trying to say you were wrong. I was trying to say you were off.
No,
and you were.
I wasn't
Just say
off
that.
about what I'm
History
saying
is
about,
history, Zach.
listen,
It
I
has
know
nothing to
about
do with your
Reagan's war on
gematria or any
drugs.
of that. It's just
Okay,
American history.
address what's on the screen right now. What does it say up there?
Okay, hold on. I have my glasses on. Hold on.
The difference between what happened in the 70s and what Reagan did was Reagan's war on drugs put people who look like you at crazy rates in prisons, which is why we've been building prisons like crazy ever since. It was a whole new level of drug war. So again, trying to argue these things that can't be argued.
I wasn't arguing with you, but American history is American history, and Nixon did start the war on drugs. That's a fact. You can't argue me that.
Arguing that. And notice from
Nixon, all right. Well, I didn't come up
Nixon's to Reagan's. Hold on, from
Zach.
Nixon's to Reagan's, for the record, was 11 years later, like black equals 11, and that's what Reagan's drug war really did.
All right, look,
people look like
I ain't even come up here to debate you on that because I don't even really know much about
that. Do me a favor for my audience. Can you tell the audience that you saw the first plane flying to the towers on 9/11?
Yes, I can, because I was there. Yes, I most definitely can.
That made you go sign up for the war.
You tried to tell me that it was a cruise missile that hit the World Trade Center.
Yeah,
but look, Zach, I didn't even come up here for all of that. I came up here to ask you a real question about what you talk about, gematria.
Okay.
And my question to you is this: the ciphers that you refer to, you said there are 4 of them, correct?
Correct.
Can you tell me what are the origins of those ciphers and who or what created them?
Well, the origins would be what they were doing with the Hebrew alphabet. And again, the original study is to find the evidence of God being responsible for the Torah. That's the traditional value of this research. But again, if you look into Kabbalah, there's a good half, which is the study of understanding God, and there's the evil half of using God's knowledge to have influence over others. It's quite obvious that the Catholic Church, becoming aware of this, invented their own system, which is why we're now on their calendar, that was implemented at the same time as the standardization of the 26-letter English alphabet. And that's why day after day, world events unfold under their orders. Just like how we had the world's or the country's longest government shutdown end on the Jesuit leader's 77th birthday, when in this gematria code, United States equals 77, not to mention DC's on the 77th meridian west. Hey, did you also see Flight 77 crash into the 77-foot tall Pentagon 77 minutes after it took off?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Nor did I see the one that hit the field in Pennsylvania. I don't know anything about any of those.
Okay.
I wasn't there to see it.
Did my question, or did your question get answered there? Was that sufficient?
Well, yeah, I mean, for the most part, but tell me how did the Hebrew and the Catholic thing, how that, what's the word I'm looking for?
I see what you're saying. How did that happen? So this guy, you know who Martin Luther is? Not Martin Luther King, but Martin Luther.
Yeah, Martin Luther, who made the Bible or wrote the first version of the Bible, from my understanding, the King James version.
Well, I don't think that's quite, but he led the Protestant Reformation. He wrote the 95 Theses, which is why the Jesuits killed MLK on the 95th day of the year. And he also wrote this thing on the Jews and their lies. And he said that, hey,
hold up, show that book again.
Huh?
Show the book again.
On the Jews and their lies, Martin Luther.
Okay.
Yeah, he said you can't have a decent society with Catholics or Jews. And that brought together the two religions to protect themselves against Martin Luther and the Protestant Reformation.
All right. Well, thank you for answering my question, Mr. Hubbard. I'm going to go watch the rest of this football now.
All right. Thanks for being a good sport. You have a good day. All right. Take care. What's up, Mr. Quinn?
This is painful, man. Where's Mooncakes?
I think I hurt her feelings.
Oh, is she gone?
Oh, she's gone.
She's the whole reason I'm here, bro. I just wanted to ask her a couple questions. That's all. You know, and maybe she's still listening. If you haven't, she's been here. Sorry, my voice is messed up. I have fluid on my lungs. I gotta go to the hospital in the morning and get a procedure done, so I'll be better tomorrow. But you know,
Rich, I got you know that. Do you remember that kid that I met through his associate when I was out in Buffalo, and he was going through the kidney thing too?
Yeah.
You know he got a new kidney, right?
You're talking about the Trump guy, right?
He got a new kidney.
Oh, good for him.
How did he get a new kidney before you did?
Here's the best way to explain it. They said it's not like waiting in line for at the deli. You know what I mean? I have to have 8 doctors give me the thumbs up, and each of the 8 doctors could have, well, you need this or you need that. So I did go down to Indianapolis and I visited a transplant, and I'm only a few steps away now.
Well, that's
I got to get a heart test and some other test. I can't remember what the name is, and just keep the fluid off my lungs. We're getting close, man.
Well,
but a question in case Mooncakes is listening. I want to know, do you even know what you're trying to debunk? Because if you don't know the California fire ritual since you've been here, or, the Kobe ritual since you've been here, or, the Francis Scott Key Bridge, or 9/11, or coronavirus, these people don't even know what they're debunking. All they're looking at is the gematria part, coding letters into numbers. That's not even 1% of what we're showing here. You know what I mean? So I don't even think they know what they're debunking. So I was really hoping Mooncakes was on here because I'd love to debate.
Again, she believes in Stephen Hawking and black holes, but doesn't believe in obvious, undeniable information. It's got to be some kind of spell these people are under. So I don't know how else to say it.
Well, but from my experience presenting this stuff to people every day, I always say this: the people who catch on are the people who listen. Right. Blow their minds. Right. So Mooncakes, if you're out there, you look up Richard Quinn on Facebook. That's me. And we'll do a Facebook Live, and I will blow your mind within 30 minutes. That's all I can say, Zach.
I would say don't count on it, Rich. It's pretty dense.
I'll be looking for the friend request, but yeah, I'll keep it open. I'll keep the hope. But right. Maybe she'll listen, and maybe she'll send me a request if we can do this. But I will teach her everything I've learned from you.
Well, hey, I appreciate you being willing to make the effort, Rich. Keep getting better. I hope you get that kidney soon.
Yep, I'll let you know when I get a kidney, sir.
All right, stay strong, buddy.
Yep, you too. Thank you. Yep.
All right, we got Victor, Gematria32, Spam Wave, 7 Bobby 7, Keith, and CM. What's up, Victor? Victor? Wait, did I already go to Victor? Maybe we already went to Victor. Mike's on mute. All right. What's up, Gematria32?
Yeah, what's that Malcolm X quote when he's like, they tell you to bow your heads and pray to the invisible God. That one, while they paved their roads with gold. You know that one?
He has so many great ones. I'd have to go back and see.
I tried looking up. It's like man, what is it? They tell you to bow your heads and pray to their.
Here's one for Mooncakes after what happened to her yesterday. There is no better teacher than the adversity. Every defeat, every heartbreak, every loss contains its own seed, its own lesson to how to improve your performance the next time.
Yeah, I think I found it. Oh yeah, this is it by Malcolm X. They tell you to bow your head and pray to the same invisible God they claim to serve, while their hands are busy paving their roads with gold. They preach humility as they build their monuments to their own glory. They speak of sacrifice, but it is always yours to make. They promise treasures in heaven while hoarding every treasure on earth, and yet they fear the day you realize the faith of what never meant to last, or something like that. It's some crazy shit. But yeah, Malcolm X, yeah, truly great orator.
Yeah,
Correct?
indeed.
Yeah. But I did see that the same thing too with the Mondani, the 111, 112.
Yeah, it's weird that they're doing that. We'll have to keep an eye on that, because how can all of a sudden they just shift the whole mayoral count?
Correct. Like all of a sudden, I seen today 11, 112, like in a couple articles. Then I looked it up on ChatGPT, and it's they messing with it. They finger fucking the numbers, but just humor me real quick, right? In the NBA, it's an 82 game season, and the season LeBron passed Kobe, right? In points scored. How many times did LeBron's team play?
Right, East-West plays twice, one time on each person's home court. And right, the day before Kobe dies, LeBron just happens to be playing in Philly, in Kobe's hometown.
So what are the
loses.
percentages? What are the odds of that? What, like, literally?
That movie poster with for Kobe's Black Mamba with the exploding helicopter says, "Lose this road game, you don't go home." A motto that equaled 157, like Kobe Bryant, like accident, like he died on the 157th day of his age, right?
Yeah, and they said the target score at 157, but
we were talking about for the All-Star game. Yeah, you guys read that right after Kobe died was the All-Star game, and it was the first team to score 157 points. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They'd never done that before. That had never happened before.
Yeah, and the Bette Miller skit, it was the score in the skit was 157 to like 102 or something like that. Some crazy.
Kobe's in an episode of her show where his team's getting blown out, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, what are the odds? You know what I'm saying? 2 and 82%, like, it's just like remarkable. You don't know math if you don't see that, you know. And then just like the Bitcoin, I was waiting for you to bring up in the debate, I was waiting for you to bring up the whole Bitcoin thing. Like, what? They don't control markets? Like, you don't know what? Let's see what Bitcoin equals. And then the record high was on, you know, July
17 on 11/7. It breaks 117K for the first time. Yeah.
Oh, wait. No. That's a coincidence. All right. So let's see who made the first Bitcoin transaction.
Right. A massive 117 ritual.
You know, so it's like, Zach, it's you know, undeniable.
Well, but yet people deny it.
Also, I want to, there was something else I want you to talk about. That's on the news, but I should screenshot the article. If I find it, I'll reach back out. But great show, Zach. Thanks for everything.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. All right, what's up, Spam Wave?
Hey, man, what's up? It's too bad that she left, because I wanted to show her a couple things that were undeniable. The first thing was make a prediction. The kill date, February 16th, 2026. Ides of March 15th, 2025. That's going to be a big one. April 14th, 2026. And May 13th, 2026. So
Well, you see how these people are. They'll say, okay, I want to know exactly where, what time. It's like, okay, well, this is why more people need to be aware of the knowledge, because you know what? If you had the English-speaking masses paying attention, you would have a lot more people who are greater connected and would be able to pinpoint exactly where. To expect one person to have the whole world on lockdown, I mean, it's just idiotic.
Yeah, and I wanted her to address this. This is from esotericfreemasons.com. So this is an actual Freemason website. And she said that the numbers aren't verifiable. But right here it says on their own website, the symbolic numbers of Freemasonry. Freemasonry is a worldwide fraternal organization that has been around for centuries and has many symbols and meanings associated with it. One of the most iconic symbols in Freemasonry are the numbers 33, 47, and 50. These numbers have a rich history within Freemasonry and are often used to represent certain ideals within the movement. 33. This number is often seen as a symbol of perfection or completion, as it is a total number of degrees in the ancient and accepted Scottish rite of Freemasonry. It also represents the age at which Jesus Christ was said to have been crucified, which by the way, in the Bible, it never says that he was 33 years old when he died. That's just a made up number. And then 47. This number is believed to be related to the Hebrew alphabet and is often seen as a symbol of divinity or spiritual enlightenment in Freemasonry. It also represents the number of years between Jesus' birth and death, and it also has to do with the 47th problem of Euclid. And this is from the Freemasons' own website. This is another Freemason text in which it shows how in the Masons in Gematria it's encoded into the name to match with the Jesuits, and this is like in a Masonic text, and in here it's saying that the Jesuits run Freemasonry. So like what about it isn't verifiable when it's in their own it's on their own websites, it's in their own books. The Epstein photos. I mean, you can check all the new Epstein photos, and it's full of checkerboard floors and Masonic imagery and crystal balls and all this stuff. I showed the thing yesterday of how the president's schedule was predicted by an astrologer, or was written by an astrologer. Also, there's this. She says that she's into the Big Bang Theory and whatever, when a Jesuit priest was the one who actually invented the Big Bang Theory. And also with the 33, I was just reading in the Masonic Bible how Jehovah is the most important word in the English language, and Jehovah equals 33, order 33, secrecy 33, masonry 33. Like, what about this isn't verifiable?
Big Bang 33, Genesis 33. I made the same point a million times. It's like people are fighting over this. I believe in Genesis. I believe in Big Bang. They're both religions. And like you said, it came from a Jesuit priest. It came from a religious individual.
And same with look up the God particle, which is like the Higgs boson. That was another thing that the Jesuits came up with. All this science stuff that like,
don't forget the whole Da Vinci Code's all centered on that with the Illuminati and the Catholic Church.
Yeah, all this
Da Vinci Code.
Yeah. I had
part of the plot of that series.
Yeah, in which there's in which the billionaires engineer a virus to wipe out humanity, and what wasn't Tom Hanks also in that movie that he was the first to get that there was a pandemic and he was the first celebrity to get the virus? What movie was that again?
That was the one that came out on Bill Gates' birthday. That's also part of the Da Vinci Code series.
Yeah, that one. It's like this stuff is shown in advance, so it's like that's verifiable too. So it's like, you have all these talent agencies that are literally in the same buildings as the CIA. They're in the same building complex. And they write stuff before it happens. Like like in the movie that came out last year, the new Avengers movie, the Hulk one. The president gets shot, and they shoot his ear or something, and that movie came out right when the Trump assassination happened. So it's like all the stuff is all planned in advance.
By the way, the movie's called Inferno. Inferno. is the
Yeah, that's
movie
it.
about the trying to wipe out the world with a virus, and it did come out on Bill Gates' birthday, starring Tom Hanks.
Yeah, and you have all these Masonic people like Cuomo and all these, and Eric Adams, all these Masons. Which these people are you can look it up, and they're all Masons. But yeah, that was basically what I wanted to say, and it's like the whole thing of like being into all this space stuff. It's like, all this space stuff that I've looked into, it's completely made up, and every couple years, like the whole understanding of everything changes, and like dark matter, that's like just a fake thing that doesn't exist. The dark matter is just they because the Big Bang Theory, that says that there's just one point and the whole universe explodes, and the problem with that is that the universe the universe doesn't expand like this. The universe is all moving in different areas, so they don't understand why that is if there's just one explosion, which makes a Big Bang Theory, that disproves it, and it's like they made up dark matter. It's like, oh well, the equation doesn't work, so let's add in dark matter. It's like 2 + 2 = 5, and it's like, that's wrong. And then I say, no, it's not wrong, because I added plus dark matter, and then now the equation works. You can make any equation work because it's just BS. That's what they do with these mathematical equations, like this stuff. And they didn't even know what gravity was, and they just discovered that it was a wave like a couple years ago, and people have known that for a while. It's like, this stuff is just fake. This stuff is made up, and every couple of years it changes, and it's like the whole understanding of how planets are formed and whatever is always changing. Like, these people don't know anything because we haven't been to any of those planets, so we can't know, because we're just seeing it from here, from a telescope. I think that we've only imaged like two planets, or like 3 or 4 planets outside of our solar system, and it's just like a tiny blur. We can't even see what it is. Like, we can't any theory that's made up is just made up because we can't verify whether it's true or not, and that's why this stuff gets disproved all the time. Like, it's just a joke to be. I don't understand these people that are like into this made up space stuff. It's like, and like, you look at like the Google DeepMind people and these quantum computer people, and it's the same thing. Like, it's just nonsense. They're just like babbling nonsense. It's a scam. That's what quantum computing is never going to go anywhere. That's a scam.
And again, a lot of people may or may not know about this, but just, the year that Pluto, the planet, was discovered is the same year that Pluto, the Disney character, was invented. And if you look at the way Pluto, the images put out for it that we always see, it literally has the shape in it of Pluto, the dog's head. Again, it's like we're being made fun of with all the space stuff. And just like Stephen Hawking having a retard just making noises, supposedly being one of the greatest minds of what's going on in space.
He wrote 20 books like this, like 20 stack of books with just one button. How did he do that? Like it took you years to write your books, and you have like full autonomy of your hands, and you can talk and whatever. You have text to speech tools, but he's just doing it with one button. That it's like, it's he would literally have to be doing that like all day for like 10 years to make one book, but he's made like 20 books. Like, how is that even possible? That doesn't make sense. That's just like, you have to be completely stupid to believe that.
All right, should play the clip. Great research. I gotta let those people get in here and then wrap it up, but I appreciate it, Spamwave.
All right, hope you get better.
All right, thanks, man. Take care.
All right, bye.
All right, we got 7 Bobby 7 Up. What's up?
Hey, Zach. Oh, man. Well, I've been listening for a while, but I don't call into the show. Always appreciate hearing what you guys have to say. Shout out to Spamwave. Some of your callers really come with good info. People like Mooncake, that girl, she's pretty obstinate, just stubborn. Would rather just argue then look at the facts and the information, the knowledge presented. You know, she uses terms, throws terms around that she doesn't even really comprehend. You know, she was talking about how gematria is not empirical, and if you look up empirical, it says in the Oxford Dictionary, is based on, concerned with, or verifiable by observation or experience rather than theory or pure logic. So that definition, I mean, what would you say? What would you say the gematria? Would you say that it's not verifiable by observation or experience?
Oh, I kept making the argument. I said, what do you mean? I mean, what verifies it is all that's been accomplished. And again, just for anyone who has a brain, if all I was doing was bullshit and scamming and frauding like people accuse me of, which is total bullshit, do you think there'd be a loyal following who stays subscribed to a paid for thing for going on a decade? I mean, of course not.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, and what you do is absolutely verifiable, and it is observable, and it is based on experience. You've been hammering home the same information for years, and you know, obviously she's new to the work, but I mean, her
Listen to
whole
what
thing.
she just said. She just said that it gives people no edge based on no exception. Here's a paying customer on the street who goes, "It's giving me an edge. I'm winning with it. Here's what I just did today." And then she goes, well, what if tomorrow he scores number 14? It's like, do you realize that what you just said doesn't even make sense?
Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I mean, so like I've been a member of your Patreon for a while now. I'm on the $11 tier. I don't use it. I don't watch sports, you know, like a dummy. I'm happy to help fund the movement. I mean, like you said, I don't blame you. You know, you're talking about, you know, it's a toss up, like whether to keep going, not with the Patreon, but, you know, just in general on YouTube. Whether
here's what I really want to do, you guys. I actually want to have an impact, and we're not doing it on YouTube. I'm having less and less of an impact with each passing day. That's the reality. Less of an impact with each passing day. That should be the way it is, based on all that's been accomplished and proven. It shouldn't be that way, but the machine is making it that way because they're blocking the message, because they control the levers to do that. And you know, I do want to write more books, and I'd love to write books for children. They get children interested in this, not make it scary, but just because I always imagine if I was a child and I had just learned that this was a thing and I was aware of it, what observations might I have made on my own if I was just aware that this was a thing? I think I would have made some major observations, because that's just the thing. Just being aware of it, having the knowledge opens the possibility of seeing what else is going on. The hard thing is somebody, I don't think there's any publishing company out there, major publisher, that's ever going to help me out. For me to self-publish, I have to self-promote and market. That's almost an impossible thing to do right now, as small as my channel is.
No, they don't want to touch it. I mean, because like you're saying, any of these big publishers, I mean, if you go to a Barnes and Noble or to any average bookstore, I mean,
they're not going to put it in the store.
No, I mean, and being like,
I went to the Powell's Books, the biggest bookstore in the whole U.S. in my hometown of Portland, and
I know, I love Powell's. Yeah,
my book there, and they said, "Well, actually, we do have a link to your book on our website, but that's all we're interested in doing." It's just like, oh, okay,
that's crazy, you know. And then you can go up in the Pearl room or whatever, and they've got all these occultic books up there, you know, like Freemason and Illuminati type stuff that you can look through and buy, but anybody who challenges or brings true light to what's going on, like, they don't want to touch it, you know, because obviously the information is all right there and it's in front of us, and anybody who has
to think about that, because they'll put a Bill Cooper book in their store, they'll put a Jordan Maxwell book in their store, but they won't put yours truly book in their store. So who might have actually opened a greater floodgate here? And again, I already know what the answer to that is, but it doesn't sound good for me just tooting my own horn. But again, Jordan,
without a doubt, because these other people, they might touch on the information. They might, you know, like you said, people like Alex Jones or any of these type shills that, you know, they might touch on some truth, or they might sprinkle truth in to their overall message, and they might lead people. They're misleading people. They might give you little bits and pieces here and there to keep you on the fucking on the spinning wheel, you know, in this rat race of life. And they might get you an idea that there's people out there working for you and trying to be social justice warriors and whatnot. But those people are obviously designed to give that illusion, whereas you're saying, you're trying to expose what's really going on and who's really behind these sort of things. And I mean, I think that you have exposed a hell of a lot more than the average truther, and a tremendous amount of credit is owed to you for that. But I'm a touch older than you. I was born in 1980. I'm from the Pacific Northwest. Like, Portland was the closest city to me growing up. I used to go there for the Rose festivals, and I used to love going to Portland. But I stay far away from it now, just the way things are going. Like, I live in a rural area. There's a lot of people farming, a lot of organic farms, a lot of growers markets, all that kind of stuff. Nearest city is Portland, and then Reading, is the next biggest city. But people are stuck in the rat race. Anything that shakes up the illusion, like most people, like, okay, I mean, Mooncake, we were talking, she comes on, and her whole purpose of even showing up and being here is to, it just seems to me to like rattle some cages, and just to not even, it's all about debate. It's not even about getting to the bottom of what's really true or what's really real, or where are we going to take this information? How are we going to benefit ourselves, and how are we going to benefit society and humanity as a whole? And these people that talk crap about you, to me, they're just so blind, because there's so many people that claim to be part of the truth community. And like, you can be rude sometimes, you can be crass sometimes. Fuck, dude, I would too, because there's so many idiots that come with stupid arguments to try to challenge what you've spent so much time and energy to expose and to learn about and to share that information. And like, dude, like, I've got so much love for you, and there are people in your community that have so much love for you, because they see you as a family man. They see you as a wholesome person. They see you as somebody who wants betterment of humanity. They see you as the person who wants to expose the truth and to just move on, and like to actually
I will
get.
say that sometimes I wish I would have just stayed a saint the whole time and never gave anybody a thing, but that wouldn't be authentic. I am someone who's mad and outraged and fed up with the world and tired of people's complacency and their idiocy and their willful ignorance. And like I said, if you guys watched me the first 6 months I was on YouTube, I did conduct myself like I was Mr. Rogers, even though that's not my true form. But I thought that was, that's pretty much how I'd be with most of my students.
No, but that's so, yeah, I mean,
I went on a rant. The first time I went on a rant, the video had 5 times as many views. And I said, see, that people need that. They need that rant to make.
Oh, hell yeah, to get shaken up, to be woken up from their slumber. I mean, look, man, my favorite teachers have always been those who actually challenge me and call out the bullshit and say, okay, like, you're full of shit, or like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, and here, let me show you something. Like, my favorite teachers have been those that shake things up, rattle the cage, don't accept conventional, quote unquote wisdom. But there are those like Mooncake that really just want to be in the illusion, or really just have no interest of real knowledge. I mean, there's these educated idiots who don't have eyes to see, who have been spoon-fed everything that they think they know. I mean, even if you look at math, like math, there are numbers that are fudged. Like what we learn in school is not true math. Like, you cannot get to absolute zero. Like, there's like, it's just it's ever so slightly off, that you will not find true, like, absolutes. Like, there's a design to keep everybody chasing their own tails, right? There's a design to keep the wheels spinning. Like, with all the hidden knowledge and all the hidden information, just like we could have free energy, free power. There's so many things that we could have access to that are kept from us, that are kept in the occult, that are kept in the dark. Just like when you asked her, just define a cult, right? Like, your homie that was on there trying to explain something to her and said, like, you understand the occult, right? And she said, yes. And then you're like, hold on just a minute. Like, define a cult to me. Just tell me what a cult is. And that's the thing too, is like, you lose
People do
so
that
many
all the
people.
time. If you guys don't know, if you ask somebody if they know something, almost everybody's just going to say yes because nobody wants to admit that they don't know something. So people do that all the time, and you're just cheating yourself. But that's why I was like, I bet she doesn't even know what a cult means. Tell me what it means. And of course, she didn't.
Yeah, no, all the time. I mean, but see, some people actually think they know something, and they truly don't. I mean, just like she claims to know what science is, but if you look up science, like fucking numerology, gematria, astrology, these things absolutely are sciences. And there are people that know the science and can use them as a science, and there are those that just look at it like it's some fun and game.
Again,
Like
it's this
she's talking
simple.
about.
The ruling class of Europe, this is what they were into. And those are the same people who came over here. We lost them, unfortunately. Those are the same people who came over here and set up this nation. If you don't want to know about the things that they're into, that's ignorance. And this new system that we now live in, where it's just about math and science and all of the occult is a bunch of nonsense and just superstition of the past. They want you to think that for a reason because that's what they're into. And that's exactly why what they've done is perfect, because now when you try to introduce this occult information to people who are indoctrinated, they think you're insane. Oh, what, you didn't learn in school that all that's dumb and of the past? Well, if it's so dumb and of the past, then why is it what they're doing this to this very day? She said, show me any proof that NASA uses astrology. I gave her a crystal example with their biggest accomplishment, the moon mission. And what you saw was she didn't even know anything about astrology either, which kind of surprised me because almost every girl in America that I've ever known would have known that Cancer is ruled by the moon and what sign it is. Now, granted, she is a Canadian, so maybe things are a little bit different up north. And, you know, I don't think that she represented herself very well yesterday. I've seen her talk about other things, and she does seem like a pretty intelligent person, but she was quite annoying yesterday. I really did think she was going to perform better in the debate. And I'm not going to lie either. I knew a lot of people would see her as eye candy because people do like to look at eye candy. You know, if she did a better job yesterday, since she really is trying to earn money, I would have thought about having her as like a regular co-host just to be my devil's advocate. But her performance yesterday was just so annoying and dumb. It wasn't inspiring at all. I really did think she was going to do better. And I wouldn't mind having some devil's advocate type of narrative just to make it more fair and balanced, if you will. But, you know, I'll give her a chance in the future. I might have pissed her off forever today with the things I said to her, but I also don't know why she'd be so offended by anything I said. Listen, you're someone who's trying to sell yourself through your body. Why are you so offended by anything I said? People are silly, but anyway, hold on. Oh, he came back. Let me get him back on here. Now, I've loved everything you had to say, but I do also got to wrap it up and get 5 more people in here. So please give us your closing thoughts.
All right. Yeah, no, I get it. And I appreciate the time and would love to talk to you more in the future. I think I've kind of held a lot in over the time I've been aware of you and listened to your work and you love most things that come up on your show. And anyway, that's usually how I am, just kind of in the background, listening, doing my other stuff. And honestly, I want to take more advantage of the sports. Like I feel kind of like I don't really know much about it. I quit the whole sports thing. Like I said, I was born in 1980, so I have the same birthday as your sister too, December 7th. We have some overlapping interesting stuff, but you know, I quit being into the sports like back in the days of like NBA jams, like in the early 90s, and like Bo Jackson and you know, back in the football days of Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. Like that's when I stopped giving a shit about sports. So, you know, I want to learn more and take advantage of the work. Cause I mean, watching those days, like you're talking about, where it's like 90%, you know, and you guys are crushing it, but still, you know, a lot of times on your Patreon where it's like, you give both sides, you know, like it could go this way, it could go that way. And you say like the top part is your favorite narrative. But like, I haven't really gotten the trust myself, even though, you know, I guess I feel like kind of an idiot when it comes to it. Like I get on the sports betting thing and I don't really know how to run it. And you know, so I still got to learn, but yeah, like, you know, maybe Mooncake, I mean, she's well-spoken, you know, but I think that she was so stuck on just like arguing and debating. And I think honestly, because of her attractiveness, like she's accustomed to people agreeing with her. She's accustomed to guys agreeing with her. Like even people who climb the corporate ladder, you see they're often, you know, much more appealing to the eye, more attractive. Like you don't find people who are running companies that are like ugly or unattractive people, right? So it's like part of part of why she gets to where she's going is because she's an attractive girl who is relatively well spoken, but still, you know, when she talks about like, you know, this work is not peer reviewed, or anybody who's really a scientist would not acknowledge this work. Or
that's the thing. She brought all these points, and I said, well, listen, when I was at the LSU campus, I talked to several professors who thought that was very, very interesting, and then they expressed why they wouldn't want to go on camera because it could cost them their job. That's the world we live in, and she doesn't listen to that and keeps coming back and go, well, how come? It's just like, I just told you, I'm blacklisted from the teaching profession for my first book, Letters and Numbers. I can't even get a job in my own profession because of what I wrote in a book. This is the world we live in.
This is the controlling system. Absolutely. Anybody with eyes to see can see it. The majority of people are in denial, don't want to acknowledge. Like, there's people that just don't even want to acknowledge that the world is under as much control as it is. Like, people think that it's just like organized chaos, and people are like, well, I don't understand why this is the way it is. I don't understand, like, why are things like this? It's like, well, it's for a reason. You know, and you say this, it's done intentionally.
But by the way, you know who Tim Pool is, right?
Right. He's a dipshit. Yeah.
He is a dipshit. Another plant that's just like, I can't believe anybody listens to this guy. Do you know that he recently claimed that his place was shot up, and then it came out that it's all bullshit?
Yeah, I heard
Well,
that.
he had actually one of his co-hosts maybe a year or two back bring up Gematria and try to introduce it like it was interesting, and then Tim shot down like, oh God, are we going to bring up dumb shit like that? By the way, this was a Tim Pool shooting hoax the other day, you guys, on December 6th. Born March 9th. Turned 39 years old this year. The shooting hoax was 39 weeks into being 39 years old at his Woodbury studio location. And then it all came out that it was a hoax. This is why these people can't even talk about it. And I'm sure he's told to say that there was a shooting at his place to compete with Candace Owens' conspiracy crap that she's cooking up too. But again, this is the same guy saying this stuff's all bullshit when his co-host brings it up. And lo and behold, here it is. It's how it's used to. And I'm sure there's been plenty of times where if you pay attention to what Tim Pool's talking about, I'm sure his handlers are giving him today's script by the numbers as well, just like CNN and all these other networks operate this way
all the time. And you know, it's like you gotta be a knower. Like at this point, like there's things that you and I were unaware of, but like, you know, some shit. Like, you've been in it. It's like your whole life is dedicated to this. Besides your family, you are in the know, right? There's so many people that are just seeking, like not sure of anything. Like, I feel bad for them. Like, they've been abused by the system, right? And it's like they're unsure what to think or what's really true or what's really real. We got all this AI bullshit on now. Like, people are getting more and more confused on what's really real and what's really true. You have to get down to the bottom of things. You have to feel in your heart and feel in your gut what is real and what's going on, and to be able to hear somebody like you on the air and go like, this guy's for real. This guy is true. He is truth. Like, you're not a perfect person. Like, I like it when you tear people up and you know, you're great at talking shit, man. I mean, like, it's enjoyable. It's you know, but like, people need to get put in their place, but like, people can't handle it. People don't want the truth. Mooncakes likes to probably surround herself with people who coddle her, who act like she's the most intelligent person in the room. You know, guys that like you know, are cucks to her and freaking do whatever she wants, whatever she says, and always agree. You know, people that are agreeable. You know, you never get anywhere in life.
By the way, Mooncakes in here earlier said, can the man who I'm staying with come on and debate you? And I said, yeah, and he didn't show up. And now I know what he looks like because I saw Mooncakes at his apartment. And, you know, I mean, he looked like a like you just said, he looked like he's probably a gay guy, honestly.
Oh, he looked like a bitch. Yeah. No, right. For sure.
Yeah. No, he just looked way too clean cut and clean shaven and spent too much time on his hair. Bring him on if you're out there, Mooncakes. And
he's not a fucking man. He's not a man. I mean, look, you obviously take good care of yourself. I mean, like, I could do better taking care of myself. Like, I've let my health slip. I've dealt with all kinds of mental, emotional, like, you know, physical shortcomings that I'm working on, like making my life better, like getting myself stronger, eating healthy, you know, getting to the bottom of what's real. But there's so much crap out there that's just not real, and so many people pandering to it and acting like, you know, it's the real scoop, or like, you know, they like the whole buzz surrounding whatever. They get involved with it because they think maybe they can make something out of it. Like, you know, look, I mean, in ways she's disingenuous. Like, I don't think she maybe even is aware. People constantly are just like hypocrites. They're not even aware of it. Like you said, she's out there showing off her body. Like, she knows what sells. She knows what she can do as a woman. And like, why not take advantage of that, right? But to say that sports betting is immoral or this or that, it's like, get a clue. There's so many people that they love the underdog.
No, she got real offended, but I said, well, how's it more immoral than, say, having your tits hanging out and saying, here, donate to Cash App while I play video games?
It's not immoral. Like you said, taking advantage of the system that constantly takes advantage of us. Like, we're taking so far advantage of, like, people just aren't even aware, of all the ways, like you said, all these hidden taxes. Like, people don't even comprehend like how much we're paying out money that we should be keeping for ourselves to make our lives
exactly.
and our
They're mad
families'
about
lives better.
Somalia. The biggest scam is your government that makes you send your earnings to them before you even get your paycheck. That's the biggest scam going in the world. Bobby, I got to get the rest of the people in here.
All right, man. Hey, I'll call you another time. Like, I don't know why I've waited so long to call, but it's a real pleasure, man. Nothing but love and respect, for real.
Thanks again. I've seen your name in the chat for a long time, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, later, man.
See you. All right, Keith, thank you for being so patient. Right when he stepped away, I go to him. What's up, Keith?
What's up, man? I got a whole bunch of shit. I know you want to go. Do you want to save me for last? And if you got time, I'll come on.
Just go. If you can keep it 5 minutes, that'd be great.
Well, just check your email. I got.
I'm the worst at that.
No, I literally just sent it to you. Remember the software I was telling you about? I mean, you can check.
Okay, I'm going there. GematriaEffectNews.com.
And then I don't think people want to hear about this shit. I called when I heard the dude tell you that he loves you. I want to tell you I loved you too. And I was just,
you guys, I am the worst with that phrase, but thank you so much. It's mutual. Thank you.
No, I wasn't expecting it in return. Don't make it gay. All right. So, but I was going to go back to and talk about, you know anything about the exolarchy, like back in the day in Iran?
Do I know about what?
The exolarchy?
I guess I don't.
All right. So the exolarchy was back in ancient Iran, right? And, the year 242 it goes back to. But the Jews' headquarters was in Iran. And I'm under the impression that the exolarchy is still there today. So the Jews are held prisoners in the Babylonian libraries, right? That's how they learn all this shit. But like, then we're not even really talking about the Jews, because like the Edomites, they were the Edomites before they were the Jews. So they just been stealing people's shit over and over and over. And I understand it's important to draw the distinction on shit, a few hundred years ago, recent history or whatever. But at this point, they're all, whether it's Jew, Catholic, whatever it is, they're all the same religion. Once you get to that certain level, it doesn't even matter anymore. And as far as the gematria side, I think the one dude, he was trying to make a point that like, it might be called Chaldean, but it's still Jewish as fuck, right? Like it's still a Jewish cipher.
Right? Yeah,
right.
I would agree.
Did you see the screenshot for the software, the predictive analytics stuff?
I do. I have it up here on my other tab. Thank you.
Yeah, you can show the people that if you want. Just my point with this was that the algorithms or the filters or whatever you want to call it is not using any sports statistics at all. It's about dates. It's about moon cycles. It's about everything but sports statistics. So the Suns owner, the wife with the broken nose Nash t-shirt when Devin Booker gets his shit all messed up.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's ritual magic. Like they're charging the field for an event. Like that lady probably had no idea what she was participating in. She's just wearing that t-shirt. But that's what that's doing. That's charging the field. Like whatever.
For people who know what I'm talking about, I brought up a million times. Look into the day that Devin Booker broke his nose and how the owner of the team's wife was sitting courtside with a white t-shirt on with an imprint of one of their former star players with a broken, bloody nose in the game that happened for the Phoenix Suns. Crazy ritual. Crazy ritual.
And again, like this is kind of what the software is showing me. And I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around it, that like whatever you want to call it, like the background programming is kind of baked into the cake. So for me, like, yeah, it's fixed how we've always been talking about it, but I'm still insisting that it's fixed on a level beyond what we're even discussing that you don't even realize yet. And I keep trying to tell you that shit, like more and more, like, you know, and again, everything that we've been talking about is still true, but we're not done. Like, there's more. I sent you another email too, followed right after that one. Paul Tice, he's a small publisher. He's good people, but I bet he would hook you up. His niche is going into that's where I get a lot of my old books. So if a book's 300 years old and it's out of copyright, he'll find the original, redo it, sell it. But he's got guys that have contracts and shit, and I guarantee he would talk to you. If you really want to do that. But he's out in San Diego, but I know he's talking about opening up another spot maybe in Texas or something. So he's doing well.
Okay.
But yeah, I put it on there. If you want me to make an intro, you know, I will. And he's a good dude too. Like, he's good people.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
Fuck with in real life. Like, he's all right.
All right. I appreciate it.
All right, man.
All right. Thanks, Keith.
Later, man.
All right. Take care. All right. We got Hot Hand Dave, Elohim, and then CM. What's up? What's up, Hot Hand Dave?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Hey, man.
You sound better.
I'm getting better.
Good.
The rest of my family's getting sick, but I'm getting better.
Yeah, it's always like that. Hopefully after them, it just goes away. You know?
Yeah.
I just wanted to share with the people with how you've taught me this knowledge. One thing that you've always said is news and sports, news and weather, news and politics. Everything comes from the news. Every morning I read Fox and CNN, you know, to see how the day's going to go.
Just for the record, Dave, the woman called in and said that this knowledge gives you no edge in sports gambling. A direct quote from her. Your retort?
The day Ohio State played Michigan, Fox News ran a story that morning on the movie Red Dawn, the producer. In that movie, the Wolverines are the heroes. They beat Ohio State that day. They were.
Then?
Oh, that was why were they running that story? And everything lined up to that game.
You have to be really clear with this one. She's probably not hearing if it gave you an edge or not.
Yes, it did give me an edge. It was plus 900, and it was a great day.
Ever gave you an edge just that one day?
Oh no, I present the photos every day.
Yeah, every day gives you an edge. Pretty much is what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely. And then the guy that's Catholic mentioned about art, and maybe that's what it's about when ESPN puts those pictures up. You know, as far as art and how they like to do that. You know, the best example was Fernando Valenzuela holding a champagne bottle with the big number 52 in the back.
Yeah.
You know, they give these clues. It's just that Zach has taught us how to find them.
The Dodgers won the 52nd World Series for the NL.
Yes.
And they used him again for the 53rd World Series the next year. Again, his name equals 106 in Gematria. Dodgers won the World Series on his birthday with their 106th win of the season. For Itachi in the thing that said, well, that's not exactly Gematria. But again, the point is we've taught more than Gematria. I haven't just taught Gematria for how to take advantage, how to put the pieces of the puzzle together to see the script.
Right. The whole thing is that Jesus spoke in parables. All this whole stuff, you know, from the news to everything, to the weather, politics.
Back to 2014, but when I was in my first year of doing this, again, I was able to assemble what the Super Bowl was going to be, the MVP and the halftime show, all accurately forecasted way before any of it happened in week 3 of the NFL season. The 2 correct teams, the outcome, the MVP and the halftime show, all figured out. And I was showing things like how one of the stories that was a big story was a freeway delay in California where the Super Bowl was going to be for Super Bowl 50. The story was a Jewish man got in a one-car accident, flew out his back window. Can you imagine getting in a car accident and flying out your back window? Can you imagine that? Just that much right there? How do you
I
fly out
bet
your back window? You'd have to like fly through your car seat. Doesn't even make sense. But the story, this is the story. This man flew out his back window and landed on an overpass sign for Colorado Street. Colorado ended up winning the Super Bowl that year in California. This story was in California. It was a national news story that day. I'd have to go back and look at all the numbers, but there was something about the way it lined up with the date and the pattern I was looking at. But I remember back, because these are the kind of things that finally got people to listen. But I remember when I was putting out these videos and I didn't have really any following. None of my big futures had hit yet. Prince hadn't died. But I just remember reading my comment section every day about how dumb and insane I must be. And now, after over a decade of doing this, a lot more people get it. But the fact is that people would come there and get mad at me when it's like, why aren't you thinking about what I'm saying? How does a man get in a one-car accident, fly out his back window, and land on an overpass sign which shut down the freeway and had people stuck for 6 hours? Think about how really what that is just some sick ritual the cabal did to waste a whole bunch of people's daytime. But it was also something foreshadowing about how Denver was going to come to town and win the Super Bowl in California that year, just like I was pointing out. Again, people get mad at the messenger and don't think about things because as far as I know, it's impossible to get in a one-car accident, fly out your back window, and land on an overpass sign 20 feet above the highway.
exactly. That's why I've always learned from you the news and what they show us in the news every day. That's how my day goes. If it's a Wednesday, where's the shooting going to be? There's 44 date numerology. Where's the earthquake going to be? That's what I see. That's the kind of things I find or look for when I read the news. Just knowing how, are they dropping bombs today? What am I going to read today? And then it leads me to some stories about sports. It's just my opinion. Gematria is part of the riddle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just one part of many of those, everyday riddles. And it doesn't have to be sports. It's just everyday life that they show us.
Yeah. Yeah.
For example, I think it was last year, Harp's patent date was on a Sunday. The very next day on a Monday was 44 date numerology. And I think it was around 4:00 my time. There was an earthquake in California with a 4.4. I had told my son, I was like, watch, you're going to be an earthquake today. And there was the 4.4 the day after Harp was patent.
Yeah. By the way, I found my old post on my website about this. The body that landed on the Colorado Street overpass sign.
Actually, that's the year I found you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I knew there was something wrong with what Brady did in that Champions. I was like, oh no, he's throwing this game. And it led me to you. Oh, I've been here a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate it, Dave.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a great night, Jack. Hope you feel better. All right, bye.
What's up, Elohim?
You can hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Man, besides that moon girl, Mooncakes, besides her looking good, man, but there's no other attribute she got besides her looking good. I mean, I listened to the interview you had with her, and it's very hard. I'm actually surprised you sat there that long arguing with a woman. I don't spend that long going back and forth with a woman, so I'm surprised you spend that long going back and forth with her, because I mean, imagine coming to a debate and you don't do your research.
I grew up in a household with two know-it-all women. I grew up with two mothers, essentially, because my sister's 12 years older than me.
Oh yeah, yeah, me too, man. Yeah, my mother was definitely a know-it-all. It's funny when somebody think they're a know-it-all and they don't actually know a lot.
That's a lot of people.
But anyway, did you see the link I put in the private chat? You mind because that's basically how the Jesuits connect everything, Zach. I mean, I want you to look at this video because it has some Charlie Kirk connections to it regarding the Oregon Ducks. You're watching it, yeah?
Yeah, it's funny how he brought in the Skulls. That was the movie that came out just before they installed the latest Skull and Bones president at the time,
Did you see
George
the connection
W.
with
Bush, and we all know what they did with Paul Walker
Did you see the connection with Jake Paul? How
on the movie poster. Yeah, I did see that.
I didn't know who was the guy that was
This is actually how we have to learn to make videos, because this is what people will watch at this day and age.
Yep. That was gonna bring it to my next point about how again going with this whole rebranding thing. Zach, I think you definitely need to rebrand, and I think you need to get the message across without actually saying who's behind it. I think last time we talked about the moment you started talking
The problem
about
is, though, this kind of content is it leads people nowhere. It gets them thinking, but then it leads them to nowhere. So, and that is kind of the way you'll see content like this does well, because it leads them to nowhere. So it's like that's a major compromise to make. But
I think based on that video he made, I think obviously you can do a better job with obviously connecting the dots better. You get what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on. I thought the video was up there on the screen for you guys. Let me play it again. Here we go. Let me mute it though. Here we go. I thought it was up there for you guys. All right. Go ahead, Elohim.
Yeah, I think you can definitely do a better job of connecting it with the numbers. But I think the moment you start talking about the Jesuits, I think that is a no for these. It's almost like
what this video does do is it gets people interested in Skull and Bones, which isn't bad. So, yeah, no, this pretty good little effective video here if you're paying attention. You got to pay attention though; it's all quick on the screen. I know my mom would never be able to follow this, but the Gen Z, this is the way they need their information.
Correct. Yeah, I just feel like the moment you start bringing up the Jesuits, I think that's when the suppression
it seems like the
begins.
algorithm's gotten extra clamped down since that. Again, I got taken down for hate speech for showing how the whole Charlie Kirk thing was synced with the Jesuits. And again, it is. I mean, his birthday is the date. Right now, we're in the time of the 31st Superior General, and Charlie Kirk's birthday is the day that he went into office. Remember, on what it would have been his 32nd birthday, his wife got the first Medal of Freedom with a cross on it. Could be more Catholic than that, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just and it's hard for somebody like the Mooncake Girl to comprehend what you're presenting, because isn't the Jesuits known for is it called the red thread? How they connect everything
that's the red thread of Kabbalah.
Yeah, how they have everything on a board and they're connecting everything together.
Well, they put that in the movies all the time. That's what they're alluding to.
Yeah. So, for your average person, they have to understand that, I mean, this is what they're doing, it's just, this information is just a bit too complex for the average human. Again, just listening to that interview, it just seems like what you're presenting to her is just a bit too much for her brain to comprehend. That's
it really was. I wanted to start where she first attacked me on familiar ground, because she brought up Sandy Hook and coronavirus, and I thought, well, here, let's just show her how these things intersected in history in a major way through one number. And again, she but the thing was, she wouldn't answer questions. I said, well, look at two things. And she just also brought up astrology. I said, Patrick Dragon standing next to a license plate where you can only see 56, and Sandy Hook was in the year of the dragon. She would never get back and answer those things. She'd just ask some other different question. It's like, that's why it was an annoying conversation. It's like, okay, you're just points I'm trying to make constantly. So anyway.
Anyways, like I said, Zach, you know, this information, ever since I came across your work a couple years ago, this is not something that your average person would just automatically you know, grasp. You would think that, since it's such, you know, it's so elementary, but the idea that your federal government could be using a letter and number system to literally run your reality, it's a bit hard for your average person to you know, believe. And you know, it's hard for them to put their ego aside to believe that, you know. um I feel like if I have a kid into this world, I have to put them through some type of human psychology study, you know, because I mean, this is basically what it is, you know. Is, you know, master that human psychology ruling over us.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so yeah, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to share that this little video right here, just because it's just watching it, just it felt like I was watching one of your videos just sped up. You know.
Yeah, yeah, this is a very efficient way to put in a lot of information. You might have to watch it a few times to absorb it, but yeah, this is the way. We're gonna have to learn how to make some videos like this to reach different people. So it's a great point. Yeah, it's a good example. All right,
Like I said,
Elohim, I
Zach.
appreciate it, man.
Like I said, Zach, that website I recommended the other day, Fiverr. I really think you should you know, hire editors and really tell them what you want to be put into the video, and they should be able to
Well,
you
what I'm
know.
learning is with all the new AI stuff, I don't want to use AI, but I mean everyone is using it, and should we not use it so everyone else is to get our message out further?
I
I
think you
mean,
should just hire editors, Zach. I don't even think you need to do any work, to be honest. Even with
what I'm learning is like I can write a script into Chat GPT and it can make a movie like that for me. So
correct. But just
and
based on my
this video might very well have been made that way, just writing in a script for what you want it to do, and then it puts it together for you quickly and efficiently.
Correct.
So you are in a way using your own mind, but then you're using this cheat code of the internet to quickly assemble what you envisioned.
Correct.
And if there's a problem, you can ask it to, no, I want this instead of that. So
correct.
yeah, I'll think about it.
Yeah, definitely a rebrand. I feel like just because again, it just seems like your whole brand is like basically shadow banned, basically. You
Yeah,
know,
well, it is. It's horribly shadow banned. I mean, it's obvious
so
because look at every video, it gets like the same shitty views. So
correct. But anyways, that was all. See you on Patreon tomorrow, and yeah. Also, I mean,
oh, by the way,
just
Elohim, has this knowledge given you an edge in gambling?
I was just about to say talk about that. I mean, do people really think people subscribe to your Patreon will be subscribed reoccurring every month if, you know, the information that you're bringing out wasn't somewhat helpful? I mean, it's just like really just idiotic, really, you know. Just that alone, you know, like why would I be paying Zach every month? I mean, that money could be going to something else, you know, if he wasn't benefiting me, you know. So
And has the
I don't
knowledge
know.
benefited you?
Of course, Zach, of course. I don't even need to sit up here and explain myself to these people. I will be seeing you on the Patreon tomorrow. I'm looking forward. You know, I look forward to that. That is literally like I wish it was literally like a college class I had when I was paying these people to go to college. I mean, I look forward to that class more than I ever look forward to any other class I had in you know, college. So anyways, you guys have a good night.
All right. Appreciate it, Elohim.
Yep.
All right. We got CM to close us out, and then I got to get back to the family. What's up, CM?
What's the deal? Finally got me a little rest. Yeah, that Resident Evil connection we made, that was a good connection. I think we need to start doing like different things, like everybody's saying. I want to do like a gematria type panel, or like not even like even based like name it that, just like call it something else, like because like so I won't be shadow banned. But probably should link my other social media so I can get the followers I got on my Facebook and my Snapchat. But yeah, it's just we got to start doing more stuff because like I can't keep going on these other panels because I only got 2 brain cells left and it's making me inherently dumber. Just going on here and like not being able to learn like that's what's that dude's name? Spamwave? Does he have a channel? He needs to be more. I've seen him say he's been shadow banned on pretty much every app.
He had his channel on YouTube deleted maybe 6 months back or so.
Oh man, he's definitely he's coming with some knowledge. Yeah, we need to start having other creators within the community because we should all know enough by now to hold a panel that we learn from you and other things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the real issue. So like, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I wanted you to check this out. I should have been told you this. Charlie Kirk and Kurt Angle were connected. Kurt Angle, the WWE wrestler.
I didn't know about this one.
Yeah, type in. I know what you'll be able to see it because I saw it off the rip. Because wrestling, that's something that's real big with gematria and scripting. Because it's scripted.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're aware.
WWE.
Hey, we're aware. Yeah, it's all been synced up with Trump too.
Oh, yeah,
Jericho, the walls, Trump's election the first time around. Yeah, we covered a lot with the rigged WWE.
When you had the Kamala versus
the WWE was part of Kobe's death too. They had a big WWE ritual the weekend that Kobe died. 33-year-old one, like Kobe's 33. I forget everything about it. His name equaled 157, like Kobe Bryant. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I want you to type in Kurt Angle's WWE debut and look at his age. You gotta think he was American hero, and remember he should say intensity, integrity, intelligence.
Okay.
You see how old he was?
He made his debut in 99.
Yeah, look how old he was.
Let's see. He was born in 68, so looks like he would have been. Did it say he made his debut?
November at Survivor Series, November 19.
So he would have been 30. Would have
he
been
was
30.
the same age as Charlie Kirk was when he died.
Well, he was almost 31. Charlie Kirk 31. But I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, it was like a month. Wasn't Charlie Kirk a month away from being 31?
Charlie Kirk was 31.
He was
almost 32.
Okay, yeah, I was okay.
Again, his death was synced with the 31st Superior General.
Yeah, but it's all synced anyway because like it's Kirk Angel. Like, doesn't Kirk mean church? Like, it's all synced anyway.
Yeah, Kirk means church. Charlie Church.
Yeah, so like, I think we can definitely like get more content off gematria. We probably just have like subcategories of it to where we could all put our ideas together on a panel, just probably talk about other things, not make it pure gematria. You know what I'm saying? Because like you definitely have done enough to. Like I'm sure just like anything else, like what I do like my whole life, like it's like you've done something for so long that you get kind of burnt out and it's like, damn, why is it I did this because I love it. Like I'm not doing it because I want to make money off of it. And then people ain't grabbing towards it. So why should I keep doing it if people ain't grabbing towards it and I'm the truth?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Like and it's just like and even with old girls, like she has to be. That's why I ask her all the time. Like, you got to be like when you went to college. Like, who recruited you in your sorority? Because you just like she's not like that. Like when I asked you, it just made total sense. And then, like you're setting an example even for the men on the panel. Like, don't reward bad behavior. She came on here and had bad behavior. She did not add to. You're just supposed to have somebody who can add to the content, not take away from it. She actually like you said, she wants to be like eye candy, like she's sitting pretty. Like, no, like not every guy is less than. Like, I'm a guy, I got, like we got kids. I got an 18-year-old and 2-year-old. Like, so I'm attracted to mentality. You got to be bad with the intelligence so I can know we're going somewhere.
Yeah,
I know you the same way. So, but a lot of guys I tend to be the same way. Like, we'll reward bad behavior. Just that's a woman. Let me just give it to her. It's participation trophies. That's what she wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, I really did think she was going to do better too. I've seen some things that I think are somewhat impressive about her, but the way it was just annoying. It was being annoyed. Yeah. Anyway, I do got to wrap it up, CM. But yeah, get your own content started and start building up the support. You're welcome to come here and advertise.
Yeah, because I need to start doing Gematria more. Like, if I do a StreamYard, you'll come over there instead of wasting your brain on CT's panel, because I'm not going over there anymore. They just like it's starting to be more and more like just males over there. They're not. It's making my brain hurt. Like
It's just like
it gives
being
me
around
anxiety.
it's just being around a bunch of idiots, and I really do think it's something just weird about it. It's like what is it about these people? Like, what makes them want to get on here and do this every day? There's just too much money being passed around over there. It doesn't make sense for a channel with 10,000 subs. It's like they're just meant to go out and put poison into the world, more racial division. That's all they do.
Yeah, but not even just like it's the same thing as these churches. Like you were even saying earlier, it's all Catholicism. All the that's why I say the Western way, the Islam, that's like Christian. Like if you look up Chrislam, it really is a thing because it's the Western way. That's what women have adopted, and it's all capitalization, all people's misintelligence. So it's just like I can't keep going to places to where I'm trying harder to be seen and just try to speak the truth. And it's just like it's making you money, it's making you, and it's not even for the right reason. So that makes me wrong too. So I'm just not going to go over there. So like, yeah, it's good that you're doing more streams so people can call in and we can hear knowledge from different places. So you won't have to, you know what I'm saying, work as hard because you've been doing this for too long and you didn't done what you needed to do. So it's time to take this in a different direction. It's going to take all of us. All of us are going to have to get out there and hit that gematria calculator, get out there and hit the Google search. And yeah, my cousin Tone, he actually knows how to make the AI thumbnails and stuff. And he's real good at that. So it's just like we can work
you
together.
pretty much do all this up pretty easily with ChatGPT. I'm aware of how to do it. I just have been choosing not to because I don't know. I feel like using this AI thing, yeah, there's a lot of advantages, but it's also the thing that looks like it's here to phase us all out. The more you use it, the better it becomes at replacing us. So we'll see.
Yeah, it was just like what I'm saying is we just got to put our minds together just to see how creative we are so it can't overtake our mind like they're trying to govern our minds. Yeah. It's just like people they want to pick and choose history. They want to say, well, oh, gematria, like then they try to get specific. Well, if okay, you got that game right, but make sure what's Luka Doncic going to have at the end of the first quarter and what's going to be.
Yeah, right. I know. Just keep moving the goalposts. Like, okay, the point is, this is the way the game is rigged. To need every last nitty gritty detail to be convinced just makes you an idiot. CM, I gotta go help out with the family, but I appreciate it, man. Yeah, build that channel.
Yeah, good call, man. Yeah. All
right.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. And let me say thank you to the super chatters. I didn't say thank you last night, you guys. I apologize. Thank you to the super chatters early this morning. King Richard left some information about these deaths in Switzerland. Appreciate that, King Richard. Always with the good additional research. Always lurking. Said you rock. Thank you so much. Open up. Said I pinned that. Thanks for letting me know that early on. I pinned the wrong link for people who want to join. Man, Donnie had to pay a $9 fee on 1-1. Yeah, that is interesting, isn't it? And as we know, Sun has that big 9 connection. We know it's the Sun guys, the Catholic Church running the show and standing behind Mom Donnie's rig selection. We're in the time of the birthday of the sun. The days are getting a little bit longer in the Northern Hemisphere. Marilyn Miller with the big 50. Thank you again, Marilyn Miller. You always send a big one every now and then. I appreciate it. Julia said, looking like Indiana coach will get 44th win. Rose Bowl equals 44. Kill 44. Won't be surprised if news ends up reporting 44 killed in ski fire today. Remember, they did have the shooting synced up at Brown with their quarterback winning the Heisman. Again, the Heisman Trophy is named after a Brown alumni. So another 44 shooting thing, like we had the 44-story NFL headquarters shooting, and then Charlie Kirk shot 44 days later on the 44-date numerology, which was synced up with the 106th NFL season. Remember the day of his memorial, the Bears won with 31 points? I mean, give me a break. Marcus Siniger said, Alabama down 17-0. Are they done? I think it's good that they're done because now that clears the path for what we've been thinking the whole time. I talked about that today, that if they get Alabama out of there, you don't got to worry about that scenario we were worried about in the next round. Just win 005 said, well, Zach, you're shadow banned for real, for real. I found you in 2016. Your page got deleted, and then I found you in 2019. Then again, yeah. I wish you guys would be more active about finding me, because I always start a channel the day I get deleted, and all you have to do. See, this is what drives me nuts about people not knowing how to use YouTube. If you search for somebody who gets deleted, you search their name, and then what you have to do is go to sort by date or sort by channel. That's how you get through their filter of not, because I won't show up unless you know to sort by date. And again, I'm not that computer literate. This stuff is actually pretty basic, just a few tricks to try and figure out how to find the person who you've lost. They know the average person isn't capable of doing these actually relatively simple things. And then that's the thing too. I get a comment every day from somebody who's like, man, you haven't showed up in my feed for like 6 months, but you showed back up today. You don't think YouTube realizes that this is how the average person is? They only click on what shows up in their feed. You mean you were this excited to get me back in your feed again, but in the last 6 months, you didn't make a single effort to see if I'd been posting? And I get frustrated because I'm like, this is half my subscriber. It's more than half my subscriber base. It's 80% of my subscriber base. Too incompetent to even figure out how to get past the censorship, so they can't even find my videos despite the fact they want to be watching them. You know, my mom, she hasn't got a notification for my videos for over a month. And I understand, because my mom's in her 70s, that she can't figure out how to do this stuff. Because she's like, you haven't been making any videos? Because I did set her up with, click the bell for the notifications. Yeah, it's real easy for YouTube to keep people from having their content viewed when they don't want their content viewed and they want their channel at the bottom of the pile, like yours truly. Again, why would the NFL want to promote my channel? They're trying to sell NFL game plan. They want to promote the guy who's showing you that the whole NFL's fixed? Of course not. That goes against their business model. And that's why it's too bad. YouTube was once just supposed to be this thing for individuals to get out a message. And if people rocked with it, people could subscribe and hit the like. And based on just who was subscribed and liked and leaving comments, and that's all it was. Now they've messed with the whole game to make sure. Like, for example, do you guys think Nick Shirley's video even really got 150 million views? I think that's bullshit. That's on Elon Musk's platform, where he wants to get his racist Nazi type of message out there from this little magical underwear and prick. Isn't it easy for them to just make fake numbers to make it seem like it's even more watched than it is? Because I can almost guarantee you that's part of what's going on. So anyway, Kelly Green 7471, thank you for the Big 10. Punk Rock 11, that quote is why we are doomed. That he put that up when the Mark Twain quote was up there about how it's easier to fool somebody than convince them they've been fooled. Yeah, sadly, so it seems. Cashville Lady, thank you for the Big 2. And Cashville Lady came with another one. She said, "Is the Patreon weekly payments or monthly?" It's supposed to be monthly. I am aware that sometimes Patreon overbills people. If that ever happens to you on Patreon, contact Patreon and say, listen, this is supposed to be a once-a-month billing, and they should reimburse you. Again, those of us who use Patreon, we're not in control of the way it bills. It's a platform that you agree to be a creator from, and then you set up your payment tiers, and you can choose a setting to bill everybody on the first of the month, or to make it so that their billing date is the day that they signed up. So if you signed up on the 15th, you'd get billed on the 15th every month. I chose that because to me, that seemed more fair. If you do the first, if somebody signs up on the 15th, what it does is it ends their membership on the first if you choose the first. So to me, it was more fair to choose the option of the 15th so that you get the full month no matter what day you sign up on. Imagine had you signed up on the 30th and I had the first thing, you'd pay for one day rather than get the full month. So I do know that Patreon will sometimes screw up and bill people extra. If that happens to you, and that's the reason you're asking me that, just contact Patreon and have them take care of it. Marco, you got to be really quick because I need to get off. So please, if you make it as efficient as possible, please go ahead. But please, 2 minutes.
Well, listen, I just got back from watching that film, We Bury the Dead. It officially really comes out tomorrow, but I saw it a day early. And essentially, it's yet another film showing you this event, that we've been talking about, which they call like the supernova or singularity with the COVID AI. And it's It's about a U.S. military weapon, like a pulse weapon that goes off, drops everybody dead. But unlike zombie movies that start with a virus or something like that, this one is the military weapon that drops people. But then, after a while, they start coming back. And notice they use a phrase, they start coming back online. And then eventually they grow more aggressive. They start to rage more. And that's why in this particular film, the military, when they spot these people coming back online, they like instantly shoot them because they know they're going to be some problems to deal with eventually. But it's yet another film, and that just shows you what's coming, like we have talked about before, which looks to be on the eclipse of the century. It's based on a town, a realistic town in Tasmania by Australia called Hubbard. And with Gematria, Hubbard equals 28. So there goes that 28 reference for 8/2/2027, the eclipse of the century. And remember, this all leads up to what I've been saying, like with the COVID jab. It's not the mark of the beast, but it is going to be a device of the devil to force us to the middle of the tribulation with the mark of the beast to buy or sell. But it was crazy that right before this film even played, there was a trailer that went off for a film that I was not aware of. It's called The Testament of Ann Lee. And in this particular trailer that played right before this film, they showed the total solar eclipse with the corona. And I'm just like, man, they are not done with that freaking device right there. But either way, I just thought I would mention that because it's fresh. I'm fresh out the theater on this one. And it was quite the film. It also comes out on my birthday tomorrow officially. But
well, happy early birthday, Marco. All right. It is interesting. It is interesting.
Oh, and listen, when it comes to Zoran, you know what I heard today at his swearing in, they had some music playing in the background. And of course, it has to do with his name, should remind us of the Jesuit sun logo. But they played the Beatles. Here comes the sun. Dun, dun,
just like this. Think about how he had to pay $9. SUN 9. It's the Sun Cult.
Yeah, with the 191 that you already mentioned today too. So listen, what I tell people is this too. It's also going to get very Islamic. Why do I say that? Because also in Revelation 17, Revelation 13 is about the earth beast as well that backs up the first sea beast. But what I tell people is that the beast from the earth is going to be the final pope. And whoever the pope is at the time, it could be the American pope. He could go away, by the way, and it could still be someone else. There is a film called The Inhabitant. It's a Mexican scary film that shows the death of Pope Leo XIV before he was even called that, before he even came into play. It was the death of Pope Leo XIV by cardiac arrest, and then there was a Jesuit pope that came in, which we already had with Jorge. But at the same time, this still suggests that there could be still another pope on the way. But I tell people, whoever the final pope is, I think it's Pizza Bala. I just met with him not too long ago in Detroit, Michigan, the 313 area code, like 603-6. And he was in town to visit the Detroit Archdiocese, and I went up to actually speak with him a couple times. But I think he'll be the next pope, Pizza Bala. He's the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem. The Jesuit pope was just out. The Jesuit general was just out there meeting with him in Jerusalem. And then when I spoke to Pizza Bala, I told him, is it rare that the Jesuit general visits Jerusalem? And he said, yes, it's very rare. He's like, there's only been 3. Ignatius before the founding of the order, Adolfo Nicolas, and also Arturo Sosa recently. They're about to build the 3rd temple. That's why I also suspect that Sosa was out there as well, just to get things ready for the 3rd temple. But they're about to summon up Judas. They're the Society of Jesus, but they're really the Society of Judas. They're doing this all for Judas.
Marco, have you heard about this missing book from the Bible that actually makes an argument that this book of Judas shows that he was actually the most he was Jesus's greatest sidekick, and he's actually misrepresented in the way the Catholic Church put the Bible together for us. Are you aware of this?
Yes, no, I'm aware that it's called the Gospel of Judas in some areas. Now I do know it's Gnostic. I do see the approach, but I also believe that all Scripture is given by inspiration of God, and if it wasn't inspired, it's not in the canon. But I do also what I teach as well.
It has been dictated by the church, though, right? The Catholic Church.
Yeah, but don't forget they tried to kill King James for a reason. You know, King James did away with the idea that, listen, I'm not going to go the way of the Catholic Church. They tried to kill him with the gunpowder plot. Now, a lot of people may say whatever they want about him, but they don't like to bring up that aspect of him in the sense of like, well, the Jesuits were created. Let's not forget, if you look at the Jesuit Mother Church, the Jesuits they're standing on the necks of Protestants. They were created. Do not forget the initial creation of the Jesuits was for counter-reforming the Protestant Reformation, because they were losing power, and also at the same time understanding that the Word of God was coming out in English to the common folk that could read it. So they didn't like that, but God had other plans, protected King James. He got that word out. And what I also teach is the King James is prophetic as a book itself, because it's the seventh Protestant Bible. Like the book of Psalms says that the Word of God is purified 7 times as silver is tried in the furnace of earth. It's the seventh Protestant Bible, but also in Isaiah, when it comes to talking about seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read, the idea is this: God only has one book today. I am bold enough to tell you it's only one book today. It's in English. It's the King James. It is the universal language, because also in the context of that chapter of Isaiah, it's all about having all the nations come together for the second coming. And right before the second coming, we've had about 400 years with the book. It says literal singular book of the Lord and read. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord, singular book, and read. And we all know English is the universal language, and also the King James is the most widely spread Bible, you know. So that is the book of the Lord. That's what I teach. God only has one book because it has no lies in it. How do you know it's the book of the Lord? Because it's very pure and it's without lies. And it's also, obviously, like I told you before, inspired. But the Jesuits, man, they're on the move. Like I said, I don't know if you caught that, but Sosa was just in Jerusalem. They're about to get this third temple going, man. And like I told you, I spoke to the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem face to face, and I wanted to check with him. I was like, is this rare for the Jesuit general to visit Jerusalem? He's like, it's very rare. He's like, there's only been 3. And I'm like, thank you. Straight from the horse's mouth. And Pete Zabala, be on the lookout for that guy. He gets close with the Arab world. I think he will be the next pope. He will be, if he's the next pope, if they kill off Bob real quick, if he's the next pope, whoever the pope is after the beast does the deal, MBS, that's most likely the false prophet. That is the earth beast. But they're going to do a 180 on Jesus being the Christ, because they're going to kill Mohammed bin Salman by the middle of the tribulation. And when he comes back to life, the Catholics are going to be like, no, that's the Christ. They're going to leave the fact that Jesus is they're going to leave that by the middle of the tribulation. But that's also the time that the Vatican is going to be burned up. Revelation 18 is all about the Vatican being burned up by 10 kings that give their power and strength to the beast. So don't you worry, Zach. God will take care of the Vatican himself. He's going to put it in the hearts of 10 kings to then burn that city. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. That is the Vatican with her Jesuit power structure.
All right. Very interesting as always, Marco. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Farewell.
You have a good one, man. Thank you.
You too.
All right. And if you want to check out the movie coming out on his birthday, he says it's quite interesting. All right, guys, I got to go tend to the family. Thanks again for all the likes and the shares. Thank you for all the generous support. Happy Catholic New Year. Again, I don't really see this as the new year. It's the dead season. Things are new in the spring. The death cult has us calling us the new year because that's what they want. And isn't it just crazy how they encode the language so perfectly? They give us these terms that match with their occult death ritual. So that's why I think sometimes be careful even participating in these things. I know we want to be, our neighbor comes to us and says, Happy New Year. It's not like you want to be, oh, how dare you say that to me? I mean, it's hard to be that way, right? I mean, you just want, oh yeah, Happy New Year to you too. You just want to be nice and agreeable. But again, I think there is a danger to participating in all their ritualism. If this is sorcery and spell casting, how does us participating in it help their madness and their domination over the world continue on? I think that is something to think about. So, oh, by the way, I might have to here pretty soon read chapter 1 of my first book. If you've never read chapter 1, it's all about why there's 26 letters in the English alphabet. Might be a fitting reading here now that we're in 2026. Maybe I'll save it for the 26th of January. But anyway, we'll be there before you know it. Have a great rest of your day. And until next time, True Seeker.